We're going live.
We'll do it live. That's all right. It's got to be done.
I'll let you know when we're live.
Stupid thing doesn't work.
All right, we're live. Hello, everyone. It's Dylan from Yu-Gi-Oh! Everything, and welcome back to another episode of Talking Yu-Gi-Oh! Into the Vrains live stream podcast, episode 28. Farewell, Roboppy. I am joined by two friends of mine, Nick T. Pete. How you guys doing?
I'm doing all right.
Good. Glad to hear it. It's on midnight on the East Coast, so I apologize to any European friends who are braving this because it's like 5, 6 a.m. for them.
Yeah, they're feeling good.
Next Saturday, we'll be back at our normal time slot of 3:30. Excited for that.
At least for 1 week.
At least for 1 week,
It's been hectic.
The benefit of doing it late night is that you can come on. So, like,
That's a benefit? Wow, thanks.
absolutely.
That's a huge
Well,
benefit.
Nick T and I are kind of like constants, and then you and Cal kind of switch whether we're like late
It's
at
also
night.
good because we're mortal enemies, so we don't want to see each other.
right. You and Cal
Or,
don't get along
you
well.
could be like two halves of the same. You could be the same person, but like
That's
night
literally
mode and day mode.
insulting.
No,
Never
night mode
say
and
that
day
again.
mode. Calibro's the worst day mode,
Ugh,
and you're the cool night mode.
That Nick T tried to make it sound cool. That was an insult.
That was an insult.
I
right
was
there. I don't
insulted.
ever want to be in the same sentence.
I've never seen Pete and Calibro in the same place before.
Anyway, we have a lot to talk about. Episode 114, right? That just aired. Just aired, and I mean, I've gone on record saying I thought it was one of the best episodes of Vrains thus far. The death scene, I've thought about it more. I think it was the best well executed death scene we have seen in Vrains.
Yes.
So we're going to talk about that. We're going to have a roundtable discussion on that. We also are going to talk about a lot of theories. There's a lot of hysteria. Once again, I feel like this is becoming an every 2-month topic that Yugioh Vrains is coming to an end. On V-Jump.
We got to get like one of those alert things.
Yeah,
the
right.
siren
That's
goes
a
off.
great idea.
Yeah.
Like, woo, woo. Community panic.
That'd be kinda sick,
So, yeah, on
honestly.
Twitter, a lot of people are speculating that Yu-Gi-Oh! Vrains might be ending very soon. It's not the first time I have heard that. Since Vrains has started airing, I will give my thoughts on that and where that hysteria kind of came from and whether I think it's warranted or not. And then finally, we are going to be making our prediction on Revolver versus Soulburner. Me and Cal are tied for first, 2 points ahead of Nick T and Pete. So you can pick win. Either character wins, draw, no result, or bunched together. So Revolver wins, Soulburner win, draw, no result. And hopefully we will hear from you guys in the community as well. But yeah, before we begin, I want to thank everyone who super chatted and everyone who came by last week and who is coming by already. I always go back and read the comments. I don't read them live, but I always read them when I go back and watch the video and watch the replay of the video. So please leave your comments and thoughts. They will be read, and they will be read by Pete as well. So thank you, Pete. Everyone who super chatted last week, huge thank you. Matthew Kennedy, Jack Rhodes, XX Kaiser Dark Knight, Ollie Garner, Melinda Phantom, Elizabeth W., Forte, Brian Ford, Mestioku, Photon Salaz 04, Otis Cunningham, Synchronizing Guns 19, Underdog Chris, Davis Enos, Goosey Q, Jesse Wood, Rex Kendricks, TNX Rail, Vincent LP 115, Nicholas Horton, Div Z, Joseph Tedisco, Bam 2555019, Naoki is so confirmed, Odd Eyes Vaughn, Marco Crawford, Sandy Espino, and Stardust Nobody. One of the most donations we've gotten in a single stream. So thank you. Big thank you to you two for coming on. That was really cool. So yeah, 114.
114. Well, all right. Before we start, I know when we initially started the stream, we had the whole idea of people calling in, but
Right.
we were hesitant about
Right,
because
so-
we can't vet people before. But I do want to pitch this idea. I know I mentioned it very briefly before we started, but my mom's younger brother, he's only a few years older than us. Huge fan of your channel.
Okay.
Big fan of Vrains. Wanted to call in.
Okay.
I'm going to call him.
Okay, so
But-
an early idea for this live stream was to get email questions from people. That kind of panned out, but we got so
got
many
too much
questions.
content.
Yeah, and to have people to call in through maybe Discord, and I
Like
could
we're
put them
some
in.
sort of Google phone service.
Yeah, I was gonna even consider paying for like a phone line, like a phone number to call
But
into
you
the
never
show.
know what you get on the line.
Right, you
can't-
can
like
get
a sports show,
exactly,
you've
but
seen some things.
there's not enough of a delay to get.
and even with sports shows, they try to vet and trolls still get through.
Yeah.
So it was a little too risky, especially because like someone can come on and just start yelling racial slurs and like there's nothing that we can do to vet that.
Right, of course, and the community is great, but we
Community
don't
is
know who
great.
to trust.
Exactly,
someone
but
could spend only a few weeks in the community on comment on a few videos and then get themselves on the live.
Right,
stream
it's
and
a-
say
We've had our series of
horrendous
trolls.
things.
Yeah,
So-
everyone deals with trolls. So
but you know me, you trust
yeah,
me.
so Nick T's younger cousin, right?
No,
younger cousin.
my mom's younger brother, my uncle.
Oh,
Like,
okay.
he's only like 35.
Oh, so your uncle who's 35 watches Vrains.
Yeah, I mean he's like
Okay.
he was into
That
anime in
covers
the
a wide
90s.
variety.
No, I
I
think that's
mean,
I
it
think
was
that's
like
great.
It was like our common ground because he was into like a lot of anime in the 90s.
Yeah, no, that's awesome. I
So,
wasn't.
like-
I was just making sure I heard that right because it is
Yeah.
rare to get anyone. I think over 30
Yeah.
or
It
like
is.
younger than 15. I feel like
usually
Well,
that demographic is at
yeah.
18 to 25.
18 to
so-
25.
Right.
Yeah,
Which, I mean,
but
like,
that's
but, like,
cool. It
after
shows
him-
that
because I mean
at some point we'll be in our 30s, and I'll
Yeah.
probably still be
well,
watching.
like,
So
a lot of Adult Swim had anime like in the
Right.
late 90s, early 2000s, and like
that's what he grew
so
up on.
He grew up on that, and then when
Sure.
I was watching Yu-Gi-Oh as a kid, like we'd watch that together.
Sure. So let's hear it. It won't be long. It'll
it
be
would
quick.
Yeah, he
and then
wants
we'll,
to call in, say hi.
Somebody said Nick T was a little bit quiet.
Am I quiet?
I don't know. That's what
No,
they said.
I'll
I don't know if
boost it a little
you
bit.
need to be boosted a little bit.
thank you for
Thank you
letting
for
us
that.
know.
Thank you.
Yeah.
All right, I'm gonna
Thank you,
call him.
Pete. So again, there'll be a couple minutes, then we'll go into the Roboppy stuff.
Which will be sad.
Yeah, that scene hurt me more than.
Yo, uncle.
Yeah, hello.
Hey.
Hey there, Nick.
What's going on? How are you?
You, Nick. It's me, your Uncle Wayne.
How's it going, Uncle Wayne?
Dude, I'm so glad you called, because, like, I'm just here in California, where it's at least 3 hours ago, and, I wanted to weigh in on, like, my favorite show, Yugioh Vrains.
Yeah, you get.
Hey, it's nice to meet you, man. How you doing?
Hey, it's good to
I'm
meet you, man.
surprised you haven't met my Uncle Wayne yet.
Wow, is this really Dylan?
Yes, it is. We're actually on a live stream right now.
Oh my god, are there, like, people watching? Are we on the radio?
Well, it's not the radio; it's YouTube.
Oh wow, I have a YouTube Red account. No ads for Uncle Wayne.
So Wayne, what's your favorite Vrains moment so far?
Dude, I like when they duel with the cards, like when they use the cards, and they'll be like, "Hey, I summon like my card, and he's gonna like whoop your cards like behind."
That's pretty much every episode.
I like the guy. He's like the main guy on the show.
You don't remember the main character's name?
I think he's like like play hopper or something. Like,
Right.
Yeah.
That was close. That was
Yeah, it's close.
Listen,
I'm pretty sure.
Nick, who is this?
this is my Uncle Wayne.
this is not your
Stop
uncle.
Uncle Wayne.
Why? I don't say anything funny. I'm just trying to express my enthusiasm for Yu-Gi-Oh!
Is this how you treat your fans?
Does he surf out there in Cali?
I'm family.
Yeah, I'm insulted.
Uncle Wayne, if you ever come to the Jersey area, we'd love to have you on.
I would love to. I mean, it's a little bit hard because I work at the hardware store, and if I'm not there, no one will be able to run the hardware store. Plus, I like surf a lot.
Say he
See,
does
that
surf.
answers your question.
All right, so there's Wayne surfing.
All right, Uncle Wayne, I'm glad we got to chat. I know it's kind of few and far between now, but I'm gonna
When
like
are you coming down for the next family reunion?
it's what in like a few months, right?
Yeah. Everyone's gonna be there. I'm gonna be making my world famous potato salad.
His potato salad's unreal.
I gotta try that.
It's
Hey,
so
Dylan,
good.
Dylan, I've always wanted to know, like, if you weren't like a YouTube star, like, what would you be? Because you know what I would be if I wasn't running the hardware store. Like, I would want to go up into space.
That's
Wow.
some big dreams.
Yeah, I
ambitious.
think that's great. I don't really know. I think it would be cool to maybe work at like Disney, Orlando. It's always been a goal of mine.
Dylan,
Yeah,
do you like M&Ms?
I do like M&Ms.
I'm gonna send you a whole box of them.
Oh, thank
See,
you.
courtesy. That's what you get for letting my uncle on the stream.
Thank
I
you,
really
thank you
appreciate-
so much,
That's
Uncle
so
Wayne.
nice.
Thank you so much for coming on, man. We appreciate it.
Hey, anytime, man. Hey, just they should call it like Yu-Gi-Oh! Waynes.
Wow, that's a collaboration that
Wow.
everyone's been asking for.
Yeah.
Yu-Gi-Oh!
All right,
Wayne's.
Uncle Wayne, I'm gonna let you go. I love you dearly.
I love you too, man.
All right, return my mom's emails, okay?
Yeah, I guess.
All right, please. Yeah, she's been on me for it. All right, all right, all right.
It was
All
good
right,
meeting
see
you,
later.
Uncle Wayne.
Who was that? Who was that?
I'll let
It's
you
his
take one-
uncle.
I'll let you take one guess.
I
He
genuinely
was responsible for other on-stream antics.
was that Barrett Letty?
The one-
The only Barrett Letty.
I had a feel. Well, I knew after about
About
10
3
seconds.
3
I knew it was a
seconds, you
troll,
knew- you knew.
and I think it's the best because I just went on a rant talking about how we don't really want trolls to come in, and
So,
and you
I-
literally just
So I had, all right, no idea that it was gonna. I'd expect him to be
Oh,
subtle, but no,
jeez.
he went all out.
He's an
for
actor.
10
He goes right
seconds.
into character, you know?
I thought he was gonna play it cool. I mean, we were just gonna like
I didn't.
throw some goofs, but no, that was
About
Napoleon Dynamite.
About a minute
As
in, I was like, I think that's Barrett Letty. Barrett Letty, the voice of Akira Zeisen in the English dub.
I couldn't. I wish I could have held that.
Like,
I couldn't compose myself. with that
Uncle
one.
Wayne, thank you, Barrett, for
The things
calling
he
in.
DMs you.
Oh,
like,
it's.
I
oh,
believed you. So there's no uncle that watches the show?
No.
Really?
Yeah, no.
There's no 35-year-old guy that.
So you were hoping this.
Yeah, I was.
It doesn't reach that demographic.
That's the part
it's all
that.
been a lie.
That's the part that
I'm
pisses
sure. Wait,
me
okay,
off.
hold on. I'm sure it could reach that demographic.
I'm sure. Yeah. No, I'm sure there's
Hypothetically, I
someone.
could have an uncle. That could have been like a real scenario, but it just
Also,
wasn't.
like when he said he was in California, I knew it was fake because one, it was the stereotypical California accent, and two, which does not exist or very rarely exists, and two, I know you don't have family in California. I know you have family in Florida, but I know you don't have family in California.
Yeah, you're right. Actually.
So I knew that. So that's when I knew it wasn't a thing.
Actually,
Anyway.
technically, I do have family in California. My cousin
Really?
Matt. Yes.
Oh, okay. Well,
I'll get him on the call.
you learn, you learn
He's
something new
real,
every
though.
day.
That's Uncle Wayne's son.
No.
So after that,
Sorry about that, everyone.
let's go. Let's go into
114.
114. I want to apologize live on camera
Ooh.
for bashing Roboppy as
Really?
hard.
Are you gonna
Wait,
eat
hold
your
on.
words? Hold on. Didn't you call No Boppy?
No Boppy. It was
Isn't
No
that the
Boppy,
name?
wasn't it?
I did. I did.
All right. So now you want to
Um,
act like you're a Roboppy fan. You're all sad.
Oh wait,
that
no.
Helen's in
Hold
the
on, wait.
character
Not
died.
only did he say No Boppy, what did he say that he wished happened
He
to No
would
Boppy?
wanted the floor, Soul Burner to wipe the floor with Roboppy. I
Right.
believe in paraphrasing there, but that was basically
Yeah,
it.
I vividly remember the phrase "wants him to die."
Yeah, over and over. If you want to check back at that.
I did not
live
say over and over.
stream. Yeah.
Yeah.
Someone go back and the live stream, clip all the moments that Dylan insulted Roboppy. Tag me on Twitter.
No, look, okay. I'm owning up to it. All right, I was harsh on Roboppy. Roboppy angered me
Yeah.
as a human, but this episode, especially last episode where Shoichi kind of talked about his heart and not being mature, it kind of made me empathize with him. It kind of made me sympathize with him. And once you start sympathizing with a character, usually that's an indication that they're about to die. And
makes sense.
that's what
on
happened.
The Walking Dead, at least. That's
Right.
all.
And then when I also realized that, like, this was like for Yusaku, like putting down a pet. Like,
Yes,
and
that's
it's just,
exactly what it
and
was.
it's like, it's just very difficult to do. One of the toughest things you have to do. So I do apologize for being so bashful towards Roboppy.
I see where you're. Bashful
Yeah,
wasn't
like
the word, but I get
bashing.
where you're. Yeah.
Bashing Roboppy. I knew I messed that
Bashful
word
would
up.
be like embarrassed.
Right. Yeah, and I was wrong, and that scene really affected me, choked me up a little bit. Great scene, in my opinion, but what did you guys think of the scene?
You wanna start?
By the way,
There you
before
go.
before you do what the community said is I asked the community in my 114 episode review, did you think that how did you think Roboppy's death was handled? One of the best in Vrains, middle of the road, or not impactful at all? 1% picked not impactful at all.
Wow.
Middle of the road was only 10%. 88% of people said one of the best scenes in Vrains.
I
And
very
the
much
taste
agree.
Of the community.
Yeah, so the community, obviously you guys can elaborate on that in the comments. Please feel free to do. What did you think?
I very much agree that the death was handled really well. I think they opened us like up to like why things sort of played out the way they did. Like at the end of the day, Roboppy was a what do they call a housekeeper, like
Household appliance.
household
Household
appliance,
AI.
household AI. Like he wasn't meant to be more, and like that fact that he was pushed to that, and the fact that I gave him that program just like pushed him too far. Like sort of shorted. So like we really understand more like why everything played out the way it did, and it was super impactful.
Yeah.
That the way he reverts back to his primitive state, and blissfully, was like happy
Almost
to see the light
almost unaware of
Yeah.
that he was about to die.
Yeah.
Because I think at
I'm
that point,
so happy. The light's beautiful.
kind of like I feel like an animal,
Right.
maybe not an animal, but as an AI that doesn't have free will, that doesn't have knowledge, you lose what the concept of death is.
Right.
You don't know what it
Exactly.
means to
Yeah.
die. I mean, we as humans
Well,
barely
yes.
understand
like,
it.
instinctually, yes, but as an AI, like.
He doesn't know what's
He
about
doesn't
to
know what's
happen.
to
So like
no.
that's what. Yeah.
And I thought it was, I thought it was impactful, and I was emotional, but I was much more emotional when you pointed out the fact of the magazine.
You saw the video, right? I showed it
showed
to
me
you.
the video.
I don't know if you saw
No,
it.
I watched your video.
Oh, thank you.
I
Yeah,
support
Thank
the
you.
channel.
the
Yeah, I
fact
appreciate
that. Like they bring up the fact that possibly Yusaku
He definitely did. Yeah.
built Roboppy with his own two
Yeah.
hands makes it way more heart wrenching.
Yeah, yeah. Minor
So it was
detail that can be missed.
I had one fault with the whole way they handled it. Everything was beautiful.
Okay.
Roboppy's death was great. The finishing blow. Soul Burner says, "Roboppy, you were dumb." That was his
Yeah.
line
Yeah.
before he finished Roboppy. And
Now
then Roboppy replies with, "Dumb is a forbidden word."
Which was Roboppy's whole thing.
Which is adorable.
So I think that's
But,
why
like,
they
the
had
way-
him say it.
Yeah, but like it almost was cruel.
Yeah, I don't know. I
Was
think
it harsh. Like you
I didn't think
realize-
so. I thought it was more. See, I thought it was more just like
Was it
Soul Burner
playful?
saying like, "Ugh, like you were dumb. Like why did you have to be like this?" Like when you want more from someone, because Soul Burner liked Roboppy. Like they were
Yeah,
hanging out in the
right.
truck, so it was like, why, man? Like
That's a good point.
I
Actually,
think that's more of so what it was. At least that's how I felt. But what did you think? And then we're gonna talk about this and Earth's death because for me those are the top two. But
my
but
God.
we'll get into that. I mean, both were
I think that still might be number one.
both
for
were
me.
terrific in their own
'Cause
ways.
He had like a whole monologue.
That's what it was. Well, so did Roboppy to a degree, but the
Right.
difference is Earth was aware of him being executed
Literally
slowly.
says, "I want to live."
Yeah, exactly. That was like,
I have free will.
yeah, that was a more like disturbing scene.
Yeah.
I think that was more like disturbing sad. Roboppy's was more like sad.
Yeah,
If that makes any
like
sense.
an innocent life lost.
Yeah, yeah. In both cases,
Yeah,
to a degree.
absolutely. Yeah.
What did you think, Pete?
I really love this episode.
Yeah.
I saw the podcast last time when you guys were talking about 113. I enjoyed 113 way more than 112, so I guess maybe
Agreed.
I'm in the minority of that. Just where 112, I felt like it was just a really weird up and down tone.
I remember you said that. Yeah, you said that.
113, even though it was clearly set up, you knew where it was going, you knew that there was a second half to the duel. I still enjoyed it, even though there wasn't like fantastic banter. But it was still interesting to see kind of Roboppy discovering more of his power and how that was going. This episode, I mean, just everything that happened, from the great dialogue till basically it seems like Soulburner kind of admits that he was going to lose.
Yeah.
He thought he
had
was
no
done.
move.
Yeah.
Well, yeah,
Even though
Roboppy
if they-
ends his turn. That was it.
They probably wrote it in some way. He would have somehow pulled something out of his ass,
Right.
most likely, because it's Yugioh.
Right.
But you never know. But then to have the thing I did not expect at all was like Roboppy to basically be corrupted, and even before like he returned back to the appliance that
Right.
he was,
He went
to,
insane.
to be
Short-circuited,
insane,
yeah.
and almost it seemed like he did get smarter.
Yeah.
and so you wonder if he was able to hold that and in his programming be able to like achieve that high level of being an AI. Would he have been stronger than I? Who knows?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
he was stronger
so
than
there's a lot of
Soulburner.
interesting things there where it, since he's been done so dirty this season, Inspector kind of reminded me of the craziness that he brought to the show.
Yes, yes.
So I did really enjoy that.
Yeah, I think you hit the nail on the head specifically with the word corrupted because it wasn't only moral corruption. I think corrupted is a good word because it was data corruption.
Yeah.
I think that was the whole thing. Like I gave Roboppy this program intended for, I guess, Roboppy to reach higher
Right.
levels of free will and self-realization, whatever, but literally corrupted Roboppy's data.
And I think the important thing to
Which-
remember. Oh, I'm sorry.
Oh no, I'm just saying that and I didn't even anticipate that. He expected it, Roboppy to exceed expectations, but not corrupt.
Yeah, and I
Like
think
when he said, "Oh,
No, I'm
I'm
sorry.
sorry,
I
I'm
did it
sorry."
again.
When he says like, "Oh, I can beat Bro now," he literally drops his fan. He's like, "What?"
Yeah. Right, that's what did you guys make of that though? Because I thought I was fascinating in this episode.
I absolutely did.
Because he said goodbye to Roboppy, so he did not expect to cross paths with Roboppy again at the end of 112.
Right.
He says goodbye, Roboppy, after kind of gassing him up a little bit, saying, "Yeah, you're gonna rule the world. I'm giving you your own country." Basically sends him to his death knowingly. Gives him this program that I guess was supposed to make him stronger, but at the same time, who's a very smart person, must have known that this was a possibility, that he wouldn't be able to handle it. But he was clearly surprised by it.
I don't think that. The way I took the entire events going is that I was shocked by everything that happened.
Right.
And I think this was something that for the first time since we've seen him make this turn, he wasn't in control of anything and he had no idea where anything was going.
Yeah.
And so I think he was genuinely shocked because he didn't intentionally, throughout the first 2 seasons, we see he makes Roboppy a little bit smarter, but he never intended for this to Roboppy to have free will. The only reason Roboppy is like this is because he died and had a backup inside Roboppy so he can live.
Right. Yeah, that's
which
a good
also
point.
fundamentally might have changed I.
Right.
Obviously, that's not the whole story, and we'll find out more when he goes forward and duels other people, assumingly. But for this episode, I was like, you know what? I think I felt bad because he realized that, like, when Roboppy goes crazy, I think he's a little bit nervous there of like, oh my God, what did I create? What did I possibly become a part of? And then when, Roboppy kind of goes back to its original form, can't handle the program, I think he felt sadness that I caused this thing that was my friend, basically, something that is a lesser creature, let's be real.
Sure, like a
I
pet.
gave it this free will, I gave it this power, and then I kind of killed it because it couldn't handle it.
And doesn't that just brilliantly add into the survivor's guilt that I is clearly dealing with?
This is by his own measure.
This one is solely by his own measure.
But it does still connect back to the original other 5 and Bowman, because the only reason he dies is in the Bowman duel.
Right.
To even do this to Roboppy.
To
so
kill
it
the
all
neuron
comes
link.
Full circle.
Yeah. It's I think it's pretty solid writing.
It is very solid writing. And you brought up a good point. I think maybe the whole plan might have been, yes, to send Roboppy to his death, but to push his limits in dueling to really see how Soulburn, because throughout the duel we see consistently impressed with Soulburner's dueling.
Right.
Maybe this is really to show how far
he can go. Right.
But he didn't anticipate the corruption
to
happen.
Right.
It's like, make Roboppy a better duelist, so Soulburner has to rise to the occasion.
Or doesn't.
Or doesn't.
Yeah.
It was a very awesome back and forth duel for the 2 episodes. I thought them
great.
chipping away each other, then Soulburner getting back life points the way he did that, all that was very interesting. But just that moment in the episode, obviously the death scene, we'll talk about that stuff, but that moment where you notice that Roboppy is different. I knew something was up even before he put his head up.
Yeah.
Because he was like, Soulburner's like, oh man, I didn't finish him off. And then Roboppy's like, I still have life points. And so right there it was like, that doesn't sound like normal.
It sounded weird.
And you knew something was up, especially when he got blasted or whatever, and you knew he had 200 life points left. He was turning a little bit, he took the beating so hard it's almost like it knocked something loose in his head.
Yeah.
And then that just
I think
caused
losing
this.
wasn't an option almost.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that was crazy. But I really enjoyed that the whole episode. Even Yusaku's parts in this episode, Ai's reactions, everything was great.
Yeah. Best duel of season 3?
Thus far.
Ooh, that's tough. Yeah, I'd probably put it in there.
Yeah,
and
for me it is.
That's crazy because I never would have said that.
No.
But
no.
honestly, the dueling has been kind of weak this season, in my opinion. I mean, what was the best for me so far? Maybe Go and I? Maybe?
Yeah, Daizen's and I wasn't bad.
Yeah, that was,
No,
good, too.
It was good.
Yeah.
I like the thing about it is the dueling was okay. I loved more in those 2 episodes the back and forth dialogue.
Yeah, dialogue was
But
great.
carried that
dueling
episode.
wise, I really enjoyed Go and I.
Yeah.
I really thought that was a good 2 episode kind of thing going there.
Yeah.
So, but this I probably put ahead of it right now.
Well, speaking of dueling wise, next week Soulburner Revolver kicks off.
Yeah.
For real this time. For real.
Assumingly.
We're going to get to that. We're going to also talk about the whole Vrains ending hysteria soon. I do want to say, and I want people in the chat to write right now, did you think Earth or Roboppy
People have been talking.
had a sadder death scene? What have you seen from the comments?
Some people have said Revolver's death was impactful.
Yeah, a lot of people like
That would
Revolver's
be
death.
probably
I
my
still
number
agree.
one.
That's your number 1.
That would be my number
That's my
one so
number
far.
3.
I think one person listed, they had I think Chinese characters, so I'm sorry that I can't pronounce her name. But they put, I think, Revolver 1, Kusanagi 2, and then they put this death 3, Roboppy, and Earth 4.
Okay.
So
Kusanagi death. I think
a lot
that's
of people
fair.
talked about, we have a lot of Earths right now. No contest says Odd Eyes. A lot of Roboppys. Loop says Roboppy was sadder.
Yeah.
Focus said Roboppy.
Yeah.
So it pretty much it seems Earth and Roboppy are 2.
Mm-hmm. That
RedEye said Konami's death. So good.
Yeah, for me, Earth was
And that's actually another good one. Who saw that? Is it Metzaku?
yeah, Metsuyoku.
Yeah, Metsuyoku said Lightning was the best. That's another death.
That
I
was a
loved
good
lot.
death
Wow.
scene too.
So
Well,
that's
the Lightning
actually
and
another
Revolver one was back to back. That's why that episode was great.
Just
Two-
like the way he goes, like he's begging Bowman, and
Yeah.
Bowman's like, you're the most actually human out of the Ignis, and then he's just like, I give my soul to you.
Yeah,
I love that.
It was good, man.
That was a great
I miss Lightning. I really do. Do we have any donations?
Yes, we have a lot. Atlas also said, "What about Spectre's death in episode 37?"
Oh, with
In
the
season
tree
one.
burning.
That's
yeah.
another good one.
Yeah, tears in his eyes. That's the thing. You become a little numb to death when they do it
Because
so much.
everyone comes back.
But you do get a few really memorable scenes because of it, and you get some misses.
Yeah.
Also, like the Akira and Emma one with the neuron link. Akira, the neuron link goes through his head, and then like he uses his last
Slowly hits
power
the
to press the
button.
Yeah,
button.
that's
That
the
was
one.
an awesome, not really sad, just more like an
And
awesome
even
moment.
like it wasn't a great like fantastic duel, Roboppy versus Ghost Girl and Blood Shepherd. Still, the way he sacrificed himself, even though they were both done,
Yeah.
shows how far those characters have come
Right,
along with each
right.
other, personally and professionally, I guess.
Yeah, yeah.
So like I don't know, there's been a lot of good things. Yeah,
Yeah.
and there's a few. That's another good one. What was it? Sakayo Duelist said Blue Maiden season 2 death. That's another good one.
Oh,
Yes.
against Bowman
and,
with Akira coming.
he has Akira
Yep.
come there. This is my show of compassion.
Yeah,
Another
yeah,
good
yeah.
death.
There have been
Great
some
villain
solid
moment
scenes.
as well as a
Bowman's
great
death,
death,
RedEye
yeah.
said. Bowman's another good death that I
Yeah.
enjoyed. Haru comes back.
Yeah,
yeah.
that's right. Haru's death, I
Justice
guess.
for.
Justice for Haru.
Yeah, it's good, man. Do we want to read maybe just a few donations? Thank you guys, by the way,
It
so
is
much.
up to you. You have quite a
Let's
few.
read some.
Um, We'll read like we'll read a handful.
Okay.
And then I'm gonna talk about where all this. I'm sure you've seen it on Twitter if you're
Hysteria.
very active on Twitter. Where this Vrains hysteria came from, that the show is concluding very soon. Whether I think there's any substance to it, and we'll just talk about that for a
That's
bit.
just wrong. Chris Nicholas goes, "Wow, at Owie when she face planted."
Savage.
That's a sad
There really wasn't any sadness that was involved in that death. You don't really feel sad. Yeah. I don't.
It's like watching a train wreck.
Oh my god, that whole duel, man.
Yeah, I was more horrified than
Right.
sad.
It was
I
more like,
wow.
oh god.
Definitely the most, I don't know, heart-wrenching but disturbing death by far for me is Earth. I mean,
Yeah.
It was just,
Yeah.
everyone's
It was both,
watching, he's
yeah.
getting dissected.
Yeah,
because
because he's conscious.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I think that's
He's screaming during it.
Yeah,
like,
that's more-
to live. Yeah.
I don't even.
something.
Yeah, that's not even like sad.
sadistic.
Sad.
It was
That's
sad,
like
sad to me because like the way they showed his memory. Like,
Well, then
he
with
was, like-
Aqua, no,
he
it
like,
was
losing
sad.
Everything as he's getting.
no,
cut.
it was sad, but it was like that was hard to watch.
was
Like
hard
that
to
was
watch, yeah.
fucked up. Yeah,
It's been a lot, man.
yeah. It's been a fun ride.
Atlas also said Flame's death was impactful to some degree. That's
Oh
a
yeah,
really good
yeah.
point, too.
Flames that. Yeah, yeah,
Sacrifice was great there.
yeah.
All right, so we're jumping in some donos.
Thank you
We'll
guys.
start off with Brian Ford donated
Yo.
$5.
Thank you so much, Brian.
And he said, if you told me that I would have cried for Yusaku's cleaning AI, I would have laughed at you. I would have laughed you out of the room, but this show did it. My
Yeah.
new favorite episode.
Yeah, wow.
Wow.
High praise, Brian. I'm not far from deeming this as my favorite episode
we
as
gotta
well.
talk more about that death.
Yeah,
We gotta talk more about
yeah. That
Yeah, it was
yeah, it was great, man.
that flashback really like tore me up.
Yeah, because that just, when they come out of nowhere, and like, it's just such a simple scene.
and for
I'm at my
for
happiest when I'm cleaning.
well, that's the
It's
thing.
like,
For
wow.
months, you as the viewer forget what Roboppy actually was,
Right.
and that this really isn't Roboppy's fault.
No.
Like, sure, Roboppy, and that's where maybe I went wrong in my misjudgments of Roboppy, where Roboppy has this persona that, I want to exterminate the human race, but that's not Roboppy's fault.
Nope.
Roboppy was brainwashed into thinking it. And then, like, when you remove that layer, and that's not the side of Roboppy that's about to get killed, and the side that's actually about to get killed is the good side.
Right.
That's what made it so
Right.
good for me. Yeah.
It was just heart wrenching to be like realize the decision to turn Roboppy back to its household AI
Yeah.
for the blast from Soulburner to come, like that was something.
Yeah.
Seriously.
Where
something.
like
Yeah.
it goes to, it doesn't understand, like you said, what's going on,
Oh,
but like to
beautiful light.
remember what this character was for 2 seasons,
Right.
and but like there was nothing wrong. It was comedic relief.
That's all it was.
Yeah.
It was a support system.
Yeah.
It was the thing that when you had those recap episodes, or like when you came back on the new season, there was always like that Roboppy scene. You know
Yeah.
what I mean?
Always.
Yeah.
Always.
And so like, and you had all these weird things going on. We speculated for the first 2 seasons, like when I had all these moments with Roboppy, you're like, is he up to something with this character? And then look what happens
look what
now
happens.
in season 3. And to go out like that was, it was sad.
You could have replaced Roboppy with like a small dog, and there
would've
wouldn't
been the
have.
same
It would have been the
just when
same
Yusaki
stuff.
turns and goes, no, can you finish this?
Yeah.
Can you end this?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like you knew he was like, just put her out.
And
of
he had a
her
very
misery.
sad look on his
Yeah.
face, and he's not
Yeah,
someone
well,
who
'cause,
expresses
like,
that kind of
It wasn't
emotion.
like a blank sad. Like he was like blank, and then like he winces.
Yeah, you can see he winces right before he
Yeah.
closes his eyes. Like he
And
starts to remember,
wow.
like this is my creation.
Yeah. Oh my god. And but the fact that like Roboppy said like he was happy seeing the light, like of the explosion about to kill him, it was like
That is a beautiful
didn't even know
sight.
better, or did the AI know that? Did Roboppy know that and was happy to be going? Was it like blissful? It was peaceful to just be finally like this is over. You could take it either way.
Yeah, that's actually
yeah.
I never even thought about it like that, but that's
yeah, it was
very
some-
true.
It was something.
Yeah, it was
Sad
good,
stuff,
man.
man.
Brian, thank you so much.
Thank you.
RedEye also said that the turn for I here has been short-lived, just like Caliber's virginity.
I don't know if he was even born with that.
And then he also said Caliber pulled the eye while you three are the big three guys in Vrains. Thanks, Red.
Wow.
Oh, Lord. Melinda Phantom donated €5
Thank you, Melinda.
and said,
Thank you
I
so
love
much.
Uncle Wayne. He really does sound like a lot like Duke Devlin.
Oh, he does.
That's a good
Duke
comment.
Devlin's a bridged version. Yeah, I can
Yeah.
see that. Thank you so much, Melinda.
It's so nice of Uncle Wayne to come
So
on.
much love to Barrett. He always
He always keeps us on our toes.
He really does. John Roy, no comment, but donated $2.
Thank you, John.
you.
Thank you so much, man. I hope you're having a great night.
Eyes Vaughn is here,
Oh, Devin.
and he donated $5 and
Thank
said,
you, dude.
I continue to support you guys, but I might pause on Vrains for a while. The depressing tones in the show is subconsciously getting to me.
Hey,
absolutely
that's
fair.
completely fair. Yeah. No, pieces of media definitely have an effect on people.
Yep, of course.
I saw someone. I didn't really see much about it, but obviously you know about the. Thank you, by the way, Devin, for the donation. Just going to touch on it a little bit. The Kyoto animation arson attack.
Oh, but that was a
That was a couple months
Months
ago.
ago, yeah,
It was
yeah,
a few
yeah,
weeks ago.
right,
Well, there's
right.
a very popular anime going on called Fire Force.
Okay.
And that's about fighting like fire demons and such. Which, by the way, the opening is done by Mrs. Green Apple, who did the fourth ending of Arc 5, one of the best Arc 5 endings openings. The opening of Fire Force is incredible. I've
Is
been
that
binge
her-
listening
her
to it.
stage name, or is that
Mrs. Green Apple. No, it's all guys.
Oh, it's a band name.
Yeah,
Okay,
it's a band
okay,
name.
okay.
All dudes. But it's an amazing opening. And one of the a very popular I guess anime YouTuber came out and he said that like he couldn't watch the show and he had to drop it because it like just reminded him too much of the tragedy.
Sure.
Reminded him too much of like the
right,
arson.
It
almost,
happens
yeah.
all the time.
And so like, I completely get that. And so I think if it's affecting you negatively, whether you're enjoying the show or not, because I think Odd Eyes, it's safe to say he is enjoying the show.
right,
but even if you're enjoying the show or not, if it's getting a little too real for you,
Yeah.
because pieces of media affect each individual differently.
Absolutely.
If it's getting a little too real for you and you're not using it for enjoyment and happiness and
I
Step
think
away,
it's
then.
completely fine
step
to take
away.
a break.
Absolutely.
One I saw
Absolutely.
recently that kind of ties into this comic book, anime stuff was I was watching the clip since all Endgame is out now, and when Thor talks to his mother, and I saw a lot of YouTube comments where people were like, man, like I was crying in this scene, not only because it's impactful, but my mom passed away.
Right, yeah.
And so what I would give to go back in
And have
time
another
to be able to have
conversation.
one more conversation with her. So like pieces of media in a comic book movie like that, in an anime in Vrains,
Right.
they can have real life touchstones and they could
Absolutely.
come back you and just hit chords that you never expected.
Absolutely.
I mean, did you expect before this episode to have some kind of sadness towards Roboppy?
No, I was genuinely choking.
So-
I wasn't like tearing up,
Yeah.
but like I was probably the stage before it. Like I was genuinely choking up because when I'm watching it, it genuinely like reminded me of when I had to put Brandy down, like my
Right.
dog
Oh,
2 years
yeah.
ago. And I was like, geez, I did
time.
not think that would evoke that kind of emotion and that memory from me.
Yeah.
So completely valid, dude. For me, I love Yu-Gi-Oh! I love doing this. I love watching the episodes. So it's always been a source of enjoyment and happiness for me. But you know what? If it's stressing you out, got to take a break from it. Completely
of course.
respect that.
Frobel Vergara is here,
Frobel.
and he donated $5, and he said,
Thank you,
showing some
dude.
support. You can get Google's voice. It's a different hashtag, a different number, but it's attached to your number. I knew it. I'm 33 and I'm an uncle. Hashtag honest.
See,
Oh,
wait,
Frobel.
see,
Dude.
wow.
Frobel
Look at that.
Vergara.
Dude,
Frobel, you just made my night,
he
man.
exactly fits the description.
Yes,
that I
of
made
Uncle
up.
Wayne.
Yeah.
Frobel.
Other than the fact that Uncle Wayne was Uncle Wayne.
Frobel.
Yes, Google. voice was like one of the ideas being thrown around because it's a free number that you can let
Yeah.
viewers. But
And you know what? Maybe because I'm hoping to keep doing this live stream into Yu-Gi-Oh! 7.
Right.
So maybe we'll keep upgrading as these
Maybe
you know
there's a
wonderful
way to screen it. Like, you know how like sometimes when
Or
you
would
go
I-
into a talk show,
Yeah.
there's someone there.
Yeah.
Maybe there's a way to do that.
Yeah, maybe
we'll
there
have to
is.
look into our I mean, radios have enough of a delay to do it. Maybe
Right,
there's a way to do
right.
it. We'll look into the option.
Maybe we just blindly trust people. I mean, 99% of people that watch are good people. I know that for a fact.
Yeah, that's
It's
true.
just the 1% that scares me.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you know what? I mean, what's the worst that could happen? You know, it becomes a joke in the community.
Right,
Don't
if
say anything
even-
too bad. You know.
if they don't say anything too bad, right?
So-
Yeah, because I've seen some Twitch streamers get like shut down because people have said things live.
Yeah, I mean,
on-
did you see what happened in what was it, Ninja's old Twitch account or whatever recently?
they're throwing shade. Not what happened.
Well, he went over to like, another platform.
Mixer,
That's, that's
yeah,
a whole
Mixer,
other thing.
yeah.
But apparently, somehow Twitch like got more in power of his channel, and then porn started playing on his old channel or something. So then he's like
Like
suing or some
advertisements,
stuff
yeah,
now.
yeah, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, so
Yeah, Twitch is not a great look for them. Because when Ninja left, he did it in a very professional way.
And they-
didn't take any shots at Twitch, didn't say anything
And they started
negative.
casting shade.
And then Twitch was the one who started, throwing
well,
like
they're hurt. That's basically
Yeah.
they lost one of their biggest platforms.
Yeah.
So.
But you know what? It's just greed, man.
It's not only that.
They don't
I mean,
need
I
him
say
to
the
be
same
success-
thing with YouTube. You know, YouTube and
Yeah.
the copyright system. I've said it again and again. It's broken.
Well, exactly, because if someone calls in and says something really nasty,
Yeah.
even if we, cut them off right now, my channel can actually be punished for that.
yeah.
Not
Even
my
if,
fault
like,
at all.
The video that gets uploaded, you go back, edit it, and bleep it out.
Yeah.
It still can get in
Yeah,
trouble.
because YouTube will have the version,
And
the
that's
raw
ridiculous
version.
because you have a bot or
Yeah.
a person there, and either one is very flawed.
Mm-hmm.
And so I've struggled with that too. It's one of the reasons why I struggle now with making a lot of videos that I used to. Because
Right.
You never know when these copyright laws are going to change. The next thing you know, you have 2 strikes on videos that you were doing for the last 3 years, and you
yep.
never had a problem. So. You know,
Yeah.
these sites have to adapt and change. Otherwise, people are going to move over to different things. What is it, Venmo or
Vimeo.
Vimeo?
Yeah.
Vimeo.
You never know if that takes off. People go over there.
Yeah.
You
never
So-
know. Frobel, thank you so much, man.
All right. So Photon is here.
Thank you, Photon
Photon.
Salaz 05.
And donated $2 and
Four.
said,
You always mess up the number.
I was-
04. Am I the only one that
Sorry.
thinks Soul Burner can win?
No, you're definitely not.
No.
I don't even need. I mean, I don't know what you guys are going to pick. I have Calibur's prediction. He texted it to me with a short description.
Right.
No, you are not. I've seen people in the community that are very, very pro Soul Burner in this upcoming duel. I don't know if that necessarily is to say that they think he will win. More so, they're rooting for him.
Sure, that's two very different things.
Very different things. I mean, I root for Aoi almost every time she duels, and
No, you shouldn't. Might not.
I'm realistic. But I guess we're going to talk definitely more,
We'll talk
about,
more
that.
about that.
We'll talk way more about that. One of us 3 might pick Soul Burner. Maybe Calibur picks Soul Burner. So
He's a fanboy.
we are going to
He
talk
is a
more
big
about
fanboy.
that.
He's got a huge tattoo in his back.
Absolutely.
Kami is here. He just said hello in the chat. So
Hey, Kami, how
up?
you doing?
Also, RedEye tagged me in something. He said you guys should have a submission form where we can submit clips for you guys to react to and discuss on the podcast or the After Dark one.
That'd be great for the
That
After
is a
Dark
That's a
one.
good
Great
idea. It's
idea.
something we
Yes.
could explore.
Yes. That's a great idea, Red Eye. Thank
maybe
you.
maybe that's what we could use the email for. You like send it there. We could pre-screen it and then
That'd be great.
something
Yeah.
like that. Have
Yeah.
someone pre-screen
That'd be smart.
Please don't send us adult films.
Yeah, please. We don't need that.
Yeah, we would not
I
react
can find
to
that
that.
on my own. We don't-
Yeah, we would never react to something like that.
John Roy came back and donated another $2.
Thank you, John.
But this time he said, "I hope we get some God cards." I don't know if he meant God
yes.
or good, but I assume he meant God.
He might have meant good in the Revolver Soul Burner duel. I hope Zeraboros and Furious Dragon.
Mm-hmm.
By the way, you can find. Oh no, that's the Revolver Structure deck. I'm giving away this box of Rising Rampage and this box of Attack from the Deep, or Scars of the Battle. I'm sorry, Scars of Battle. Please join the giveaway. They're in the description. This is one of the many ways I try to give back to you guys for being so generous to me through Patreon, Super Chat, membership. Please take advantage of these
Who
opportunities.
doesn't love free stuff?
Who doesn't love free stuff? Doesn't matter if you're in New Jersey and I can drive it to you, and it doesn't matter.
that
I
sounds
would.
nice.
I probably wouldn't do that, but it doesn't
Hey,
matter.
don't get their hopes up for
Right,
that.
I'm sorry. And it also doesn't matter if you're in freaking New Zealand and I can, fly a cargo plane and drop it out of the back door. I will get it to you one way or another.
Wow. Okay, we're just jumping out.
So we're doing that.
So thank you for the donation.
Pulling the Aquaman. Right now. Just jump in the middle of the desert.
We'll take 2 more, and then we'll talk about the hysteria get around.
All right, sounds good. Brian Ford donated another $5.
Thank you, Brian.
And said, I can barely watch Roboppy breaking down. Seeing him lose his mind is like watching Old Yeller, one of the best scenes in Yu-Gi-Oh series for me.
Yeah,
it is. Old Yeller is a very good, and honestly, I wouldn't be shocked at all if that was inspiration. Old Yeller.
I tend to shy away from scenes that make me get emotional. Death Parade had, I think, 12 episodes. I think I cried during like 4 or 5 of them. I mean, just an incredible show.
Only 12 episode show?
Yeah, 12 episode anime.
Damn.
Yeah, but I mean, just incredible. That was something that actually really appealed to me because I was like, okay, it's 12 episodes. I can watch it quickly because I've heard great things. Amazing show. Although I know a lot of people bash me for not watching Death Note even though they're in the same universe, but like they're not. I think it's the same creators, or same. There's some similarity besides just them having the word death to start the name of the show.
To be honest, I didn't think they were related. I just thought.
No, they're definitely in the same universe because of this one scene in Death Parade. But anyway, yeah, I have not gone back after watching that show to watch any old scenes. I just haven't. And I watched that show about a year and a half ago. I don't need to. Like I remember what the thing was. I remember what it was about, and it was amazing.
There's just certain pieces of media that you only need to see once.
Right.
Sometimes,
Right.
it affects you in a certain way. Where like, I consumed that. I'm glad I did, but I don't want to do it again.
Yeah, exactly.
It's something similar is like, I have no problem watching it again, like Breaking Bad.
Yeah.
But like, it doesn't. Not that it's not great because it's amazing,
fantastic.
but like the impact, I more remember what I first felt when I watched certain scenes more than the impact it's having on me when I'm currently watching it again.
Right.
Where I'm like, man, I remember the first time I saw this. Like recently, I was watching the crawl space scene.
Oh
Wait,
my God.
and it's one of my favorite scenes in
Skin
any
crawls,
show.
like, no,
and I
your
remember
blood-
watching it for the first time and just having chills down my spine.
Like,
So
is,
like,
is this it?
Yeah,
It's
like,
always, is this it?
just those evoking things of evoking your memories the
Yeah.
first time you saw something.
Yeah,
That's great.
absolutely. Brian, thank you for the donation.
Thank you.
Melinda Phantom donated €10.
Oh shit! Thank you so much,
man.
Melinda.
And said, I feel like Soulburner's new Blaze Dragon, which was really cool scene, completely got overshadowed by Roboppy. Still sad about Roboppy, though.
Yeah,
you're
actually,
right. We didn't
I
talk about it much. We didn't talk about it at all.
I didn't mention it in the review either, which I meant to.
I really like it.
No, it was an
Really
awesome
cool.
looking monster. That Soulburner XZ's animation is beautiful.
Yeah,
the XZ's
whole
animation
scene
where they go
when
into
he
like
says XZ, I
yeah,
love that.
no, the
Yeah.
chant was great.
It was
It was an awesome scene, and I think that's just what added. Like that is a scene, that is a moment that you say, okay, that was like the most awesome part of the
Right,
episode.
it did
When
get overshadowed,
when a moment like that's good gets overshadowed,
That,
when
the
a
scene
moment that
overshadowed
is
it must have been great.
right, when a
Which
moment
is-
that is good, I can't speak, dude.
No,
all
I
right,
think you
bro.
said no. That was right. It just
When a
it
moment
sounds weird.
that's good.
Oh, you know, you added
That's good.
Yeah, when a
That is
moment
that
is
good.
that good.
Yeah.
You could just say.
I
just
said that
good.
twice.
Yeah, you don't need
Well,
to.
that's that good.
When a moment that's
This
so
stream
good.
is brought to you by Grammarly.
Hook it up. Hook it up.
Oh
Grandpa.
yikes! Sponsorship.
So
Yeah, I
you
re-
want to jump into the hysteria?
Yes. I'm going to talk about the hysteria. I'm sure if you were in the Twitter community in Yu-Gi-Oh, you've probably heard it. Maybe it's brand new to you, but over the weekend we got the cover. I believe it was of Jump Festa. Not Jump Festa, excuse me, V-Jump, which comes out every month around this time. And a very good friend of mine in the community, Jay Bix, who I talk about a lot. You probably think I'm in love with him. I mean, he's an awesome
I
guy.
wouldn't judge you if you were.
He always posts really good stuff, really interesting things. And in the very last month, there was a report that came out that the Yugioh Vrains climax is beginning.
Right.
Which I think we touched on. This month, the cover of V-Jump, which actually Vrains' characters, Soulburner, Playmaker, and Revolver were on the cover of V-Jump, which is really cool. And the wording was, this month, on magazine cover, the wording was, the animated series Vrains hits its climax. And Jay Bix speculated that, I guess next month the climaxes will be ending. They'll take a month to wrap things up. That'll be the show. So we are in the climax, which the climax in a piece of media usually does mean the end of the show.
Towards the end, right? I mean, at least as far as like literature, I always felt like the climax was about 3/4. Is that too soon?
Well, I saw like a chart because I've researched it when I covered it in a video. But anyway, that was the tweet that started making a lot of people, I don't want to say hysteria.
Yeah, I'm called. Yeah, hysterical would be the word though.
Right, hysterical,
causing hysteria.
not in an extreme way. Where a lot of people said, you know what, the show is going to end, and a lot of people were kind of hitting back and saying, no, you guys are being silly. The show is not going to end until spring 2020. I myself, someone's going to look like a fool.
Either way.
Either way, a group of people are going to look like a fool. People that are die hard that Vrains is ending in 6, 7, 8 episodes, or people that are saying there is no way it's not going until 2020.
Right. I mean, I don't think no one in this scenario.
Right,
There could be, no one has to look like a fool as long as you handle whatever outcome gracefully, right? You
Right,
can just
okay,
say,
you're right. You're
I
a
was,
fool.
I was wrong. Perhaps I overreacted.
A fool is a little extreme. Although, I am in the boat, and this is just me. Maybe it's because I'm pig-headed, and I base myself off of precedence, that Vrains will go until March 2020. I'm not worried about it. I'm expecting in next month's V-Jump in September that we're going to get news that the opening and ending are changing in October for the next 6 months.
Sure.
That's literally what
Could
I'm
happen.
expecting.
Right.
And there's people who have the mindset that the show is ending in October.
Which I don't necessarily believe, but I think it's funny that you're basing all your info on. I mean, to be fair, all you have is precedents to base your thoughts on, right? But so far, timing-wise, every precedent has been broken. Right?
You're right. The openings and endings switching together.
The announcement for
Opening 2 lasting longer than any opening in history. Except
announcement for Yu-Gi-Oh! 7 or the next Yu-Gi-Oh! show.
Right,
was
announcement for
very
Yu-Gi-Oh! 7 was
early.
early.
Yeah.
You're right. They are and that's the thing. So do I think there is cause for maybe slight concern for people that want Vrains to go to spring 2020? I actually do. I do think that this is interesting that they said, because the Arc 5 manga, which was the last piece of Yu-Gi-Oh! Media that ended, 6 months before it ended, they said the Arc 5 manga is reaching its climax.
6 months.
The difference with manga is you get one chapter a month.
Right.
It moves much slower
get
in terms
4
of
a
release. And 6 months later, the Arc 5 manga comes to an end. They have used this wording before within the last year and a half. And now that we were approaching the climax, now that this magazine cover says we're in the climax, is it crazy to think that once we leave the climax, which if you look at literary and media devices, once we leave the climax, it's usually the conclusion.
Right.
I mean, it's possible.
There is cause for concern. I'm still in the boat that it will end spring 2020. I still do believe that. But I
agree.
think there is more basis to start maybe getting a little concerned that the show might end early.
No, I agree, and I think you could take it honestly either way. You could take it as like Nick T said, of like, yeah, the climax means that we're in it, and that climax could be this final 6-month push. Like, this is the climax. The show is ending before the middle of next year. Here we go. We're wrapping it up. Or the climax can mean, hey, literally the show ends in 2 months.
Right.
This is our last about 10 episodes or so. It's going to be a pretty short show compared to most of the other Yu-Gi-Oh shows, and that's that.
Yeah.
You know?
That is that.
Now, would I be disappointed if that happened? Not necessarily. If they wrapped it up amazingly,
Right.
Sometimes it's better to have less seasons and less episodes if they do a great job and don't stretch something out.
Less opportunity to screw things up.
Right, or just the stretch story that's not there.
Right.
Okay, but then at the same time, I'd be a little disappointed just because I feel like this season for me hasn't hit as hard as the last 2 so far.
Yeah,
I mean,
fair.
we're talking about Roboppy and Soulburner as the best duel of the season.
Yeah,
No offense
fair.
to either of those characters,
Right,
but like,
like,
come on.
yeah.
So like, I need more from this, and if this is how we're wrapping it up, like, think about all those characters that got wiped, like they were nothing in the first few episodes. That's it. Like, that's them.
That's
Maybe a line of dialogue in the season, in the season and show finale. Like,
Yeah.
that's it.
Yeah.
Like, so, like, that would be a little disappointing. So it depends how they handle it.
100%.
So yeah, I think that the whole Vrains ending hysteria and people that believe it probably got a little more substance to that argument with this article.
Right.
I still personally believe. See, here's the thing. If we get a new opening and ending, you figure that there is going to be one last arc. That doesn't really match up with them saying we're in the climax of the show. So that's why, it's something to be a little concerned about if you want Vrains to go that distance. And I want it to go that distance not because, it needs to have this many episodes, but because I want it to get a little more fleshed out.
Right.
As you said, I want it to be as best as it can be. And I'm not sure if it wraps up in the next 8 episodes. I still feel like there is, I'd love to see the Ignis back. Will that happen? Probably not. Yeah. The Ignis back is
Looking less
humans.
and less.
Yes. I'd love to see Playmaker lose and try to get development. Right. That's not going to happen if the show's ending in 8 episodes.
I would love
24, 30 episodes, yeah, he can lose and build himself back up for a really good final arc. 8 episodes left, 9 episodes left, not going to happen.
He's going undefeated for the show.
If we're breaking precedent, right?
Sure.
I think it ending, October? Too soon. But I wouldn't be upset if maybe we carried over into
January.
January.
Yeah.
Because, again, if we're breaking precedent, who says it couldn't end in January? So that would be enough time.
Yes.
Cutting it close if it's ending in October.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It'll be interesting.
There's definitely more and more as we talk about this. I think we were so like, there's no way this show is ending. Everyone calm down.
Right.
And as the weeks go on,
Yeah.
we're
Like,
going,
okay, maybe.
like there might be something to this.
Yeah.
You get maybe 2-3 episodes of Soul Burner Revolver and whatever goes forward. Obviously, at some point, I and Yusaku are meeting up. I mean, there's no doubt
has to
that's
happen.
going to happen.
Right.
But literally, the end of this last episode.
Probably after
the
Revolver
thing
Soul
he
Burner.
gave Roboppy was a letter that was all,
Mr.
Mr.
Playmaker.
Playmaker with the eye stamp and all that stuff.
I mean, it's
right?
going to happen after Revolver
You know that's
Soul
coming.
Burner.
So let's say that's another 4-episode
yeah.
thing, like the Bowman Yusaku thing. Okay, so where are we left? 7, 8, 9,
Right.
10 at max to wrap up kind of the show. This is it.
Yeah.
It could be.
You got to figure if his plan doesn't even come close to being realized, then it feels like we were sort of shortchanged.
Yeah.
Like he did all this time we've had him taking over Soul Tech. We don't even know what he's really doing with Soul Tech. And if like he reveals that in the Yusaku duel that we assume is coming, right?
Right.
Yusaku beats and boom, show basically ends 2 episodes later.
Yusaku saves
Doesn't
the day.
that feel
wait,
like
what?
it's kind of flat?
Yeah.
Like that nothing happened, that we got no really time of him being a real villain with motivation or literally anything.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So that's why I'm trying
It's
not to buy
worrisome.
into that hysteria.
Yeah.
Because I wouldn't love if they do that.
No, but that's the thing with hysteria. It starts to slowly kind of consume you, you
Yeah.
know, to a degree.
No,
You
that's
can't
true.
let it, but like, I'm just starting to get a little more worried than I was a week ago.
Yep.
And that seems to happen as the weeks continue to go on.
And if Dylan didn't have a dead channel before, just you wait.
Yeah.
I mean, you
3-4
want to see a dead
months to no
channel.
channel?
You want to see a dead channel. You wait till October when Vrains ends. Let me tell you that, baby.
Wow.
I mean,
6 months to a year of nothing.
I mean, I would be in a lot of trouble.
Yeah.
You know,
Unless Yu-Gi-Oh! 7 happens.
sooner than expected.
Yeah, exactly.
There would be a lot of
Breaking
After Dark
precedent.
podcasts to cover the gap.
Why, that could be fun.
Yeah. Well, we'll see. I'm not worried about it. Well, I'm a little worried, but I'm not worried to the point where I'm like, it's gonna end. We'll see. The September summaries will be very telling.
Yes.
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 Very telling. The September V Jump, September 17th,
Very
will be
telling.
very telling. Because if we get a new opening and ending announced, we're good for another 6 months.
Yeah.
There's no
And
doubt
we
in
can
my
wipe
mind.
away the sweat from our brow. And
We
give a nice-
we should know
sigh.
for sure either way. I would say within
Next 6 weeks.
4 to 6 weeks.
Yeah.
Yeah, we should know
Yeah.
for
You gotta
sure.
know what's going on.
Yeah.
Which there's something reassuring about knowing almost definitely the answer in 4 to 6 weeks.
Yeah. Yeah.
There's
And I say 6 weeks because maybe we don't get anything in the September V Jump and the September summaries don't tell us what's going to happen, but maybe the October summaries, if the next duel is going to be Playmaker and I, because then after that, we're in new territory. Everything in the opening has been shown. We don't know
what now?
where we're going to go.
Right.
Oh,
That's it. It's just strap
God.
in. It's like when you strap into a ride and enters a dark tunnel. Remember
It's
that
going
creepy
up.
scene in Charlie and the Chocolate Factory?
Classic.
That's where we are right
Yeah,
now.
we're
we
in
don't
the
know what's going
we're
on.
in the
I don't
tunnel.
know where it'll take you. Like
the
that's
Oompa
where we
Loompas
are.
are surrounding us. It's getting weird.
Yeah.
That's a horrifying scene in a children's movie. Oh my.
We want to read a couple more donations, which thank you guys so
well,
much.
A couple more. There's quite a few. There's like about 2 pages worth. So
Are you kidding me?
Yeah,
Holy
so,
fuck. Thank you guys
I
so
also
much.
wanted to shout everyone out. Right now, from what I've seen, we've been fluctuating around 181 to 183.
Oh.
So this at this time at night for a podcast, this
the
is by
highest.
That's
far the most
incredible,
people we've had.
yeah.
So thank you all for joining.
Thank you
us.
so
Yeah.
much.
Oh,
that
that's
means the
super cool.
world. Thank you so
So-
much. I always say if I'm at like 80, 90, over 100, I'm very happy.
Yeah, especially
very
this time
happy
at
with the
night.
turnout.
Yeah.
I love getting more people to talk and hang out with us.
Chat is very active, so thank you all.
Good,
for
I'm glad. And I
stopping by.
always do. I promise you. These two can verify. I always go back and read the chat.
Yeah,
He
a couple
does.
In
people
full.
challenged you to that a couple weeks ago.
Oh,
They were
really?
like, does Dylan really have the time to do that? I said,
I
"Trust me,
do.
He
Yeah.
he
Finds the
invests
time.
the
I
to do
absolutely
that.
do. I promise you. I usually watch on like 1.5 speed. But
That
like
makes the most sense.
Yeah, but I'm telling you, it's
Well, there was those weeks in end of season 1,
yeah.
beginning of season 2, where I missed so many. So I was watching your videos on 1.5 speed
To catch up, yeah.
I think I watched
Um,
like 4 of them in a
it's
row. It's
amazing.
Like,
But you guys really are incredible. And I do want to take the time to everyone here to say that a big goal of mine for 2019 was to create this segment, was to do more live streaming, to hang out with you guys. And thanks to you guys just watching, most importantly, and the super chats, it's turned out way better than I could have ever even dreamed of. So from the bottom of my heart, seriously, thank you. And a huge goal in 2020 for me, I've talked to a couple people about it, is by the end of 2019, I want to have like a merch line. I want to have like 10, 15, and it's not going to be like Yu-Gi-Oh! Everything merch. Like I want to have merch with like faces of Yu-Gi-Oh! Characters with like captions and stuff. And do like posters. And I'd love in 2020 to like travel, go to like anime conventions, set up like a booth.
Wow.
And like sell my merch and like meet people, most importantly.
That'd be great.
Yeah, I think it would be a lot of fun to
cool.
travel around the country and like hang out with people. I think it would be great.
Hey, if you want
So
to
be on the
join you at a
lookout.
couple
Yeah,
things-
absolutely.
Yeah.
You guys
I'm-
could come.
dude,
I think
I'll
that'd be
come.
amazing.
Honestly, we picked Disney World. Right now, I've been watching a lot of the Galaxy's Edge Star Wars world. I want to build my own
Let's go.
lightsaber. So if you're going anywhere near there, I'm
Hold
in.
on.
Okay.
If anyone in the community's got to hook up at Disney.
A lot of people are
Yeah.
from
Oh, that'd
be
Florida,
great.
so
Oh, there we go.
So that's a
Let's
big
make it
goal
happen.
in
Let's go.
2020. The first step of that, the most important step, is finding an artist at a reasonable price line that I like.
Of course.
Maybe a few different artists, but yeah.
So be on
we'll
the
see.
lookout for merch because that'll be super
That's
cool.
coming by
And
the end of
I'll
2019,
rep
I
it
hope.
Every day.
Thank you.
I won't even wash it. I'll just keep wear it every single
That's
day.
disgusting. But thank you guys so much. Thank you so much for making this dream reality. But anyway, we can read a few. We'll read 5 or 6. Then we'll talk Rev Soulburner.
Right.
Our predictions.
And we'll just run it out.
We'll see what the community thinks in this
Right.
chat right now. And then we will write out the rest of the donations.
I just wanted to shout out a string of comments here. Stardust Nobody wrote, "Come to Australia." Luke put, "Dylan's 2020 goal is writing Yukio."
I don't know about
Dreary
that.
wrote,
I can't write.
"Come to Trinidad." so that could
Wait,
be
is
something.
Drew actually from?
Yeah, no, I think Drew
is
is.
from
Yeah, it's just
Trinidad.
there's a lot of
That'd be
countries.
kinda sick.
Yeah, I'd love.
That'd be very cool.
I mean,
I've
Australia's
eaten
got. Would you
Trinidad.
guys come to Australia with me?
I would
for a
absolutely.
convention.
Absolutely.
I would love to. That's an expensive
Shout out
trip,
to
but I would love
Hocus.
to.
I saw you here earlier. So
Oh,
shout
yeah.
out to Hocus.
We could go and visit Russo. We could go during a time that a convention. I'm sure Sydney or
Australian
Melbourne.
Open. Let's go in January.
Melbourne. I
Melbourne,
apologize.
thank you. Good.
January. We can go in December and celebrate Christmas in the warmth, which is weird.
Weird.
Which is
That'd
weird
be
to think
cool.
about. Like go to the beach on
Yeah,
Christmas.
that'd be
That's
awesome.
But that's weird, isn't
Yeah,
it?
I don't know, dude. I'd be down for that.
I'd be down for it too. But
A
it's
lot of
just
people do that kind of
strange.
vacation. It'd be very cool.
Yeah.
Shadow
Let's do it.
Realm also wrote, "Cal's face with a 'sit on me' as a quote for merch."
Honestly, that would be our best-selling shirt. So I.
Yeah, 'cause you could have like
That's
you
brilliant.
could have like the chair there.
Yeah, I could have
That'd be
shirts
good.
of you. Yeah, I want to have
Wait,
like.
literally a chair and then just his face drawn onto the seat of the chair.
That'd be
That's
pretty
brilliant.
That's
That's
be pretty brilliant.
It makes it.
That's an
writes itself.
amazing
That's-
idea.
We really
Bro-
need an artist. Anyone out there wants to be commissioned? Let us
Yeah,
know.
I gotta find someone, or maybe just even a few different people, so that there's
Right.
different styles and stuff. Because Kamau, I don't know if Kamau probably isn't in the chat,
I did not. See
but
that.
they're who I usually commission, but they haven't taken commissions in like a few months.
I mean, artists get busy and they like
No,
have
and
to
it's
close it
it's
because
it's
too much
tough to be
work.
an artist, man. I can't
Yeah.
draw at all to save my life, so I don't know how they do it.
Kamau
Yeah,
is
that is very impressive.
But also, the trick is also finding an artist who would be okay with you merchandising their work.
Right, because they get a commission.
They
And
could. That could be
everything,
part
but
of the
yeah.
negotiation.
But
Yeah.
didn't Kamau make that Vrains book over there that you showed me last
Yeah.
night?
Yeah, oh yeah,
That's
but
absolutely amazing.
yeah, but and Kamau
Stunning.
sells that all on their store.
Well, which I expect, but like to show just the sheer talent.
Oh.
absolutely
yeah,
amazing.
Kamau's
Phenomenal.
unreal.
Yeah.
A lot
say
of
it
people
every
are
day, every
shouting
afternoon.
out places around the world that they want this Dylan.
Yeah,
Con
this
tool.
is
That's
like-
amazing.
this is like every
it
time-
would okay. It would not be a Dylan Con.
Yeah.
Do not associate me
Yeah,
with Tana
no,
Mongoose.
yeah.
It would be a regular anime con that I would try
Just
to
have a
go
booth
to
at,
and
yeah.
just set up a booth at. Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you have to pay to go to like set up a booth
Typically,
there?
most
yes.
likely.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I mean,
I don't know anything
Dylan, if
about
you
it.
ever wanted us to join that, dude, let
Oh
me
no,
know.
I would.
Oh,
I
yeah,
would
I would
want
love
to
to go.
travel by
Yeah,
myself.
we'd
I think it
go.
would be cool.
I would go.
So that's the goal for 2020 and beyond. That's
That'd be
the
awesome.
huge goal. Kind
It's
of take the channel on the move.
It's
a
like
bit.
anytime like a
And
band
the table.
a band or like artist says like, "Oh, I'm going on tour," and they list the tour dates. Every comment's like, "What about Brazil?
Right.
Come to Minnesota."
Then you get like those random comments where it's like, "Come to Kazakhstan," and you're like, "That's a
on.
little hard." Like,
Where's
you
the
know.
market?
Exactly.
Come to Alaska.
That'd be fun. It's beautiful at certain times of the year.
Well, the time when it's
Very
night for
simple.
30 days in a row.
That's
Well,
a great.
it's
30
actually
Days
like,
a Night's a
it's
great
almost
movie.
like 6 months out of the year. Usually, it's like
That's
mostly
terrifying.
dark, mostly light. I think it's like 18 hours each. It switches on and off,
Crazy.
depending on where you are.
That sounds
So
awful.
those are the goals for the channel. So a sneak peek for you guys hanging out this late with us. We'll read it like 3 or
Back into
4
donations.
Yeah.
the don't know.
Thank you
Okay,
guys, seriously.
Brian Ford donated another $5.
Thank you so
Yo.
much,
And
man.
said, for me, I didn't care much for Earth. We really didn't see much of him, but we had 2 seasons of Roboppy, and so I did feel Roboppy's death was much stronger.
That's fair. I mean,
Definitely a fair argument.
yeah.
Absolutely.
Earth was more introduced. We see him consistently for about 5 episodes, and he's dead.
Yeah,
Yeah.
pretty much.
Yeah.
But it was still the brutality of that scene that gets me
Yeah,
more than
and
anything
just
else.
the flashbacks, I think, especially through
Yeah,
Aqua's perspective, really
that's
filled in
that's
the
what
gaps.
you
Right,
see,
and then
like,
afterwards, like Aqua feels it in her heart that Earth was so did
Right.
I, so did Flame.
Yeah.
A Spectre cries a single
Right,
tear, and he's
yeah.
like, "What the hell is?" Yeah,
like
So
no
it
one
was-
really can explain what they're feeling, and I think like that's like a certain level of empathy that that resonated with me. So me, I get it though. Like not everyone felt that.
Oh
so
yeah, well, people
that's fair.
interpret media differently, and that's the
Absolutely.
beauty of it.
That is the beauty of it.
I'm sorry, I was just copying another donation. I
It's on
apologize.
his game.
No, thank you.
Joseph Tedisco is here.
Yo.
Donated $5.
Thank you,
And
Joseph.
said, I believe that I did send Roboppy to die, but never meant for him to die like that.
Sure.
Also, Earth's death was just as sad for me as Roboppy.
So I
Yeah,
agree.
see.
I agree with Joseph. I still am headstrong on the belief that I knew Roboppy was going to
The
die.
way he said goodbye, Roboppy. Yeah.
Some people told me, no, I think he just meant it in like a casual way. No. To leave that whole joke persona of
Right.
the old
Yeah, like he
perverted
literally
man.
switched.
Yes, he
Yeah.
switched
You
and then he got
notice he did
serious.
that again in the episode.
He was
this
cheering
episode.
for him.
He was cheering, and as soon as things got serious, where
stopped.
Roboppy went a little bit off,
Yeah.
he went right back to serious
He's
mode.
like,
He was like,
"What?"
"What is this?"
Yeah,
So
yeah.
he did. That's why it's another thing where he did not see that coming.
and you
No.
never have control over that situation
No.
whatsoever.
I would have loved to see that version of Roboppy Duel I and see how they match up. That would
Yeah.
have been very interesting.
Yeah, for Bob. Yeah.
Because it would have been interesting, like master apprentice situation,
Right.
where I is the one that not only caused this,
Right.
but is the one that gave Roboppy the mindset of you'll take over the whole universe, maybe even be as strong as me one day. So to have that actually come to fruition when I thought, oh, it's never possible,
Right.
that'd be kind of cool.
Yeah, that would be.
So, Adai's Vaughn donated another $2.
Thank you, Devin.
Yo.
And said season 1 for me is greater than every other season in my opinion.
It's fair.
I can definitely see the argument for that.
Yeah.
I disagree, but I can definitely see the argument for it.
Yeah, I think I definitely like season 2 more than season 1. Too early for me to say between season 1 and season 3.
Yeah.
But I mean that it's just
Definitely.
opinion.
I get it.
Yeah.
Season 1 is great too. Just it's season 2, I don't know. There's just something about it.
Yeah.
Lightning.
Revolver comes into the fold. You have Lightning, Bowman, and Windy. Like you
And
get
Haru.
Soul Burner introduced. Like I think there's a lot of great moments there. Even I like
Blood
more
Shepherd.
what they did with Aui's character in season 2.
Yeah.
Blood
her
Shepherd as
costume
well.
changes,
Even
yeah.
though he's a little wasted throughout the show so
Sure.
far, but
You always have those characters
yeah,
that are wasted.
there's a lot of things there. Even Akira had his moments in season 2.
Yeah, absolutely.
So John Roy donated another $2.
Thank you, John.
And said, if human eye loses, is he going to be good or does he just die?
Right. Great question.
That's a very good question.
I think if he loses this upcoming duel, we assume it's going to be Playmaker versus I. That's going to be his next duel. He's dead.
He's
right?
gotta be
He
dead,
wants
right?
death right now.
Yeah. He said, I'm going until someone beats me.
Yeah.
He literally said that.
Will
Yeah.
Playmaker kill him? Maybe not, but Revolver probably would if he was in
Someone-
the area.
Ooh, that could be really interesting. Like
Would Playmaker
Yusaku
pull the
has
trigger?
the chance like to finish him. And he kind of does what I did with Aoi and
Right.
spares him.
Right.
Could he go either way there? Like I could say like as a compassion thing, or it could be a critical mistake by Yusaku, and that it allows I to keep going. That's how the show keeps going.
Oh.
Wouldn't
Yeah,
it be
see,
great too if
that-
if Yusaku beating I and killing him was like that, like somehow set Playmaker off and then he like was evil or he just went insane.
You never know.
Some kind of twist like that
becomes no longer so this.
because think about it,
Wow.
both of the creations that he made, one directly, one indirectly, Roboppy and I,
Right.
he might literally see die within 5 episodes, and that might like set him over the edge. It's just like he's such a dead, emotionally to himself character that I just
Sure.
can't see it happening.
I understand that, but to back him up a little bit, I think in the last 40, 50 episodes, I think he's shown a lot more development. I know it's subtle, okay, because that's just, you have to take it. This is the character, okay? He's not going to be super expressive
He's
like
not
Soul
going to
Burner.
jump. Yeah, it's never.
But
gonna.
I think his moments of, even this moment of compassion and sadness that he had, in this episode,
Right.
I think shows way more than he was in season 1. So I think
Oh,
he's
yeah.
come a long way.
Mm-hmm.
It's
I
not
agree
like
with
other
that.
characters, but he's come a long way.
The other problem too is in season 1 when he seemed to have development after the Revolver finale, he regressed at the beginning of season 2.
And
He
that
did
happens
regress.
sometimes.
Yeah.
And then he took him a while, cried during the Kusanagi duel, which was a good scene for
Yep.
him, and he's been pretty good since then. But
I
like,
agree.
right, he's not going to be the kind of character that's going to show off crazy emotion. He's just not. And that's-
Main characters are different.
yeah,
You know, like,
everyone is. Yeah,
as other people, like I've said before, like CW shows that I watch, right?
Mm-hmm.
Barry Allen as the Flash is a completely different mindset than Oliver is. Oliver is more like a Yusaku. He's very serious. He never shows his emotions.
Right.
But those moments when he does, it's impactful.
Right.
Where Barry's more, he wears, his heart
On
on
his
his sleeve.
right.
So like, and both are great main characters. You just have to accept that you could have your favorites, but like sometimes you're just not gonna. He's not gonna be Yusei.
Yeah.
He's not gonna be Yuki.
Right.
Like, that's just he's not what he is.
It's not what he is.
And all of them being different makes for me all the shows not dry.
Mm-hmm.
Having different types of main characters is what makes Yukio or any show appealing to keep watching.
yeah.
Yep.
Why would you want a carbon copy of the same exact main character
Right.
over and over?
And by the way, you
Are you thinking of a show that did
Yeah,
that?
well, so I and if you'd in the comments, I love Gundam, but almost every show has a carbon copy villain. Char Aznavour in the first show, then there's Zex Marquis in Gundam Wing, and then there's Full Frontal and Unicorn, all carbon copy villain, like red suit, metal mask, red Gundam. Like it's same kick against the protagonist, like the same. There's like one kick that is in every single show.
Yeah.
So it's like, but I love it. It's like part of the gimmick, but you don't want that always.
Yeah, for me, I don't always want that.
No, I completely agree. And you know what? Some of the some people are gonna not like a certain character because of that, and that's what makes that's what makes the shows different.
Right.
And so one person might love Vrains and not like GX. One person might love GX and not like Vrains.
Right. And that's
Right.
that's why you
Yeah.
have lists of tops
Exactly.
and everything else. So how hard would it be even more to make those lists if literally everyone was exactly the same?
Right. Then
what
you're
would
just-
even be the point of
Right.
making the list?
Exactly.
And like, while of course, would it be nice to have a unanimously loved character? Sure.
Right.
But isn't it more interesting to have a divisive character like that? Some you love him, some people like, no, he's great.
But you also will never have a unanimously loved character.
No.
That is an impossible fever.
Almost
dream.
impossible.
Impossible fever
So then,
dream.
so then why not have him be divisive? Like, oh, he's emotionless, some people say, but oh no, he's cool and collected. Like you it's controversial, so it's fun.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah. And I think
Exactly.
speaking of Reigns, like, all right, maybe you don't love Yusaku's lack of emotion, right? But you have so many other side characters, supporting characters, other main characters that are filling in those gaps where you're getting the whole emotional spectrum.
Right.
Okay, you have Soulburner's kind of anger and, a little bit, we talked in this duel that he isn't the most intelligent, but you have that good dueling style of him. You have Revolver and his, like, villain, anti-hero, like, technician style. The craziness of someone like Spectre or Windy. Like, you're covering the strong, always there support man in Kusanagi. Like, you have all these pieces that are being filled in. You don't need your main character to be literally the entire spectrum where he's every emotion.
Yeah.
You don't need that.
Yeah. And the cool thing is, if you don't like Yusaku because of that, you probably are going to like the Yu-Gi-Oh! 7 protagonist because they're probably going to be very different.
Right.
Yeah.
And so that's cool.
Exactly.
And this is why it's the best time to be a fan of the show, because if you don't love Vrains, if you're not really enjoying it, show's going to wrap up within the next 6-7 months, maybe within the next month. And then Yu-Gi-Oh! 7 is right around the corner. You can get excited for news about that.
Yep.
And if you love Vrains, like I've been really enjoying it,
Yeah.
you can look forward to the show hopefully wrapping up really solidly and leaving you with some really cool memories. And the Roboppy scene will definitely be one of them for me.
I totally agree. Virtue also pointed out, talking about the deaths, he said that Earth's death, along with how it was portrayed, was more impactful for him than Roboppy's because of the amount of people it affected as opposed to what
Sure.
Roboppy.
Sure.
So-
Yeah. And that's the argument between group affection or personal affection. Which
Sure.
one is more hard hitting for you?
Yeah, I think it's a completely fair point.
Yeah, definitely.
Absolutely.
All right. Copy another one. Stardust Nobody's here.
Yo, Sam.
Oh,
He
Sammy.
donated $3.
So Sam makes the beautiful thumbnails for
does.
us.
He
Yes.
certainly does. They are fantastic. And he
Yes.
said, Dill, tell our fanfic story on the After Dark one day, please.
There's a fan.
So I'm interested in what that is.
Oh boy.
I'm gonna bring this up again. So
All right.
I'm
I'm
making
gonna ignore it for now, and I'm sure I'll have
Sam,
to.
tune in on the After Dark. I will bring it up. I'll really.
That's a story for the After Dark. I mean, Sam probably doesn't think I'll tell it. I'll tell that story on the After Dark, but not on this one.
I would be
Sam.
very interested
So if
to hear
you're
what that
interested
is.
to hear Sam and Dylan's fanfic story, tune into the After Dark podcast. What's the tentative date for that?
We don't know when it's gonna be. It might not be one this week, but
Wow.
we'll see.
Usually it's Tuesdays, but the schedules just fluctuate so much.
Yeah, it really depends this week on if Russo can come or not.
Oh, that'd be great if you
Oh, so if
could.
he can't, we're just not doing it.
Probably not. I
Wow.
probably won't
Yeah,
be. able to.
we're not good enough, Nick D. Let's just be real.
Thank you, Sam. You're the best.
This is the only
Appreciate
time we
it.
hang out. It's because of podcast.
I'll try to come to Australia.
Melinda Phantom donated 20 euros.
Oh shit! Thank you
Wow,
so
thank
much,
you.
Melinda.
Oof, man, after dark, we just saying that.
That's okay.
Even
I
on
can
the
say
Yugioh
curse
podcast.
words like that.
And it was.
Thank you, Melinda.
She
That's
said it was great being here live, but the need for sleep is getting the better
Yes.
of me. Love you all. Have a great night or morning in my case.
Aw.
Melinda,
So
we
this was
love you
probably a little
too.
while ago, but
It
still,
was.
We
It
still
was
love
about,
you.
It was about 25.
Yeah,
So
Melinda,
go
Melinda,
back
you're
and-
great. Really, really awesome human being in the community. So
Yes,
thank you so much for that
Positive
very,
force.
very big donation,
I
Melinda.
always see her.
Thank you.
Very inside of Discord all the time. She
Yeah,
always pops up in my
yeah,
phone.
active member. Yeah.
Yeah.
You're great, Melinda. By the way, if there's any channel members of mine that do not have access to my Discord and you want access, DM me on Twitter. I apologize for that. YouTube said that there would be a way that I could access your email address in terms of see your email address when you become a member. Do not believe, and then I would send you the Discord link that way. I don't believe there's any way for me to do that. So please feel free to reach out to me on Twitter. Just shoot me a DM, say, hey, I'm a member. Can I have the link? If you're interested in the link, of course. But thank you so much, Melinda.
Infernity King, which is Matt, donated
Matt,
$5.
I love the new name, by the way.
Yeah, I'm really
It's
loving
great.
that. And said, hi, Dylan, Nick T, and Pete. Did you see the stuff on Zed?
Was there more?
No, I was Pete. Did you see it?
Oh, it was addressing you. Oh yeah, you
I
were in
did
the
see
chat.
a little bit of
Yes.
it. I went back.
Good,
you-
I'm
you
glad.
Didn't, you didn't give me the timestamp, but I found it anyway.
I didn't.
No,
Thought
but it's
I
all right.
did.
I found it anyway.
Okay,
it
good.
wasn't
I'm
that
sorry. I
bad. It's
thought-
actually, it was helpful to use the live chat when people started talking about it. And
Oh,
so
yeah,
I was able
yeah,
to just
yeah.
pinpoint like kind of where it
That's
started.
smart.
But yes, again, as I've said, an amazing writer. I could have never thought of.
Yeah,
any
that
of
was-
the
I
stuff
talked to
said.
Matthew recently, and he said that he listens to what you have to say, and it's like listening to like a prophet speak about like the
Profit.
Wait, about what?
No, just he thought you were like a very like deep, well-informed speaker.
Well,
It was a very nice
that's very
compliment.
humbling. So thank you very
Wow.
much. I don't see myself like that at all. But
I
thank you.
Pete has always been insightful.
No, I think I think it's great.
Guys, stop! I'm gonna blush.
you should blush.
I will. I don't handle compliments well.
I missed.
Matt also came back and
No, that's
donated
money.
another $5.
Thank
That
you,
was
dude.
an
Oh, man.
atrocious shot, by the way.
Okay, it wasn't that bad.
It was horrible.
It literally missed by 2 inches.
Jesus, that was like
It
some
missed-
Brian Scalabrine shot.
No, it missed by 2 inches.
And Matt said,
That's what she
Vrains
said.
to me has been awesome, and I don't care if it ends soon, but as long as it ends with an awesome duel and a happy ending, I'm happy.
If you
There we go.
you polled everyone that's enjoying Vrains, Matt, thank you for that donation.
Yes.
And you gave them 2 options, and you said option 1 is Yugioh Vrains goes for another 30 episodes and has a mediocre ending. And option 2, Yugioh Vrains ends in 12 to 15 episodes and has one of the best endings in all of Yu-Gi-Oh.
Of course, I'd pick the
Every
second.
single person is taking the second option.
Right.
Every single person.
It could
So
end next week as long as it has a great.
Right.
I mean, not that I would want it to, but like if they found a way to make it perfect.
I
for
think
next week,
yeah, right.
Right. I'd rather have that than a mediocre.
I think
ending.
people that want it to last for the sake of lasting just don't want to say goodbye to it, which is understandable.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, you get very connected to characters. You get
do.
attached to shows. You get into the routine. So it's hard to say goodbye to any Yu-Gi-Oh show. It was hard to say goodbye to Arc 5. I remember I even tweeted the morning of Arc 5. And at that point, everyone knew it was a disaster. But I tweeted.
I just remember talking to you and how depressed you were.
Yeah, right. I wasn't mad. Like,
No,
now I'm
you
a
were
little
just
more
so
bitter.
sad about just like what happened.
In my
Just,
age,
like,
I've gotten bitter about it. But, like, back then
Old
I
age.
was very depressed. I was in a very it was a very
it's hard to see.
I
when
think
a
the
show doesn't
timing
end
was
great.
not very good.
Yeah, well, look, listen. Anyway, the morning of Arc 5, I felt sad that it was ending. Like, even though I knew that it wasn't the ending that I particularly loved and that most people didn't love, like, I was sad to see it go. And so,
Anytime you see a show end,
Yeah.
it sucks. I mean, I'm gonna experience this in the fall when Arrow ends.
Right.
You know, like for 8 years.
8 years.
Oh, it's actually just ending.
Oh yeah, like it ends in December. It has 10 episodes as a final ending.
Wow.
And so like I'm behind right now, so I really have to catch up. But I intend to catch up because I always have a thing where I try to watch the last season live,
right?
Or
Yeah.
Even that night if I'm recording it on DVR. And so that's going to be incredibly sad. Through the ups and downs I've had with that show.
Yeah,
There's seasons I haven't loved.
Oh,
but
I
like
remember.
saying goodbye to all those characters can be incredibly tough.
Yeah,
That was in
absolutely.
any show.
Yeah.
You just become attached.
Yeah, but thank you, Matt.
Not in the donations, but Nicholas Horton did tag me, and he said,
Great guy.
"Question: Will the protagonists of Yu-Gi-Oh! 7 will they be younger like a Yuma or older like a Yusaku, male and female cast?" What are you feeling on that?
If I had to pick between guy or girl,
female.
I'm picking guy.
Yeah, I mean,
Obviously, it's
statistically,
95-5. It's going to be a
Right.
guy.
I'm hoping girl though, and I would like if they went girl or guy. I kind of like the 16-year-old.
No, I like older.
I don't really.
I
wanna
like
go younger.
older. I don't want
I
younger.
want an old man.
Okay,
actually.
so I wanted younger after 5Ds. I didn't really. Well, it's not that I wanted it, but I didn't mind when Yuma was announced because I was like, oh, it's a younger kid. It'll be different. And then Yugioh was announced. And I was like, all right. And then after like halfway through Arc 5, I was like, yeah, I relate more to like an older character like a
very
Jaden or a
much agree.
Yusei. So I was very happy about Yusaku. I hope they keep it at the older age range. But if I had to guess, it's going to be like a 13-year-old boy as the
Yeah,
protagonist.
that's probably what's gonna happen.
That's my guess.
It still could be great.
Of course. Oh, yeah. Zexel, I liked a lot. Yeah.
Yeah. Jumping back into
What
donation.
A
Oh, I'm sorry.
middle-aged mom, 45-year-old mom.
So, what's the next donation? No.
That would be incredibly interesting.
Caliber's mom.
Wow.
Let's do it.
And it's just like almost like
With or,
every
with or without glasses.
glasses.
Wow.
And every about
The
30
classic
episodes,
question.
we have like when the things calm down, we just have a scene of like it goes back to the house and she's just roasting Cal. Like that's just the comedic relief for that episode.
Yeah, that'd be
That'd
great.
Even
I'd love
added
to
like
see
a
it.
like a laugh track.
Yeah. Oh, that'd be great.
One of my greatest fears has to be relived. I am always worried, and I've said this before, that someone on the main cast of a new Yu-Gi-Oh show will have the name Dylan. I don't like saying my own name. I'm not used to saying my own name. I don't know many Dylans in my life.
Yeah.
So I'm very, very worried every time. It's such like it's an only me worry. Like I'm the only one that cares about it. Like whenever a new cast gets announced, because they usually announce a batch of characters at like one time, I'm always searching like no Dylans, no Dylans. And I don't think Dylan is a very common Japanese name, so I don't think I really have to
it would
worry.
never-
I don't think it would
literally
ever.
None of our names
No.
are common Japanese.
I wonder if
names.
there. I'm sure there has been a character
Like an
named
American
Dylan in
name,
anime
right.
before.
Yeah.
That's a great question. I
I'm
don't
sure
know.
there has been.
Let
If
us
there's
know-
any
let
Dylans
us
in
know out
anime,
there.
actually,
Yeah.
maybe not because
Maybe
I've
not.
watched quite a. Well, not I shouldn't say that. I've watched
Yeah.
a very
If any
few.
of you know of a Dylan in anime, please, because I want to see it. And
Yeah,
I'll clip it and send it to him.
I just don't like. I don't like
Yeah.
saying my
Well,
name.
real quick aside, because you brought up the whole name thing. In the preview, the translation calls him Varus.
Yeah, which is his English dub name.
Right, no. I thought that was interesting that they
So,
decided to do that.
Well, I hope it was a hiccup because if all of a sudden it's just the
there's-
inconsistency of calling Revolver, which is his name in this version of the show, for 114 episodes, and now you're going to start subbing him Varus whenever anyone
no
says
reason for
Revolver.
that.
First of all, when a character says Revolver,
they say Revolver.
they say Revolver. How are
Right.
you going to translate that to Varus? We're not watching the English
Yeah,
dub.
it's really bad, especially when that's not even available in
It's
America.
not even available
so,
in
like, It makes no
America.
sense because what if you're not in tuned like we
Oh,
are?
yeah,
right?
we'd be like,
so
what
you
the
would
hell
look
is
at
that?
Right,
it like,
exactly.
what
Well,
the-
that's what I thought. I said if you do not watch, if you only watch Vrains and you don't look up any information on it, you don't know about my channel, you don't know about YuGiOh organization, about DMC, you don't know anything, and you see that, you're like, well, that was a really bad typo.
Yep.
Like, what does that mean?
That was a bad
Varus.
typo. Varus. I mean, how absurd. That's better
that's
not.
something that's almost like if that's your job,
I
it's,
opened a whole can of worms.
but it's
I mean,
kind
it
of
is.
inexcusable,
It
right?
is.
Like if that's your job, that's really bad.
But the crew subbing it for Crunchyroll is 4K Media.
Yeah, I understand that, and it's like
trash.
yeah, are they trying to like drop in like remember watch the dub? It exists, but like
It's not available in your biggest market.
right. It's
Come on.
incredibly
Whoa, I'm friends
odd.
with Michelle. This isn't cool.
I know. I'm friends with a lot of people at 4K Media, and I have a lot of respect for what they do. And I think the dub is really cool. But I think if I'm, it's the same goes for the dub. If I'm watching the dub,
Yeah, why am I going to call the character Revolver? now?
Sure,
You're
call
like,
them
wait,
Varus.
For 40-something episodes, I've called them Varus.
yes,
That makes no
Yeah.
sense.
my media, keep the media separate. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. I enjoy both versions. But how are you going to cross contaminate?
But you don't agree, Nick?
No, I agree, but never mind. I was Never mind.
All right. Look, that's
to
how
hear
I
about
feel.
that one off
Sorry
camera.
about that rant. We can get on with the demos.
Loop also wrote to me and said, how much have I watched of the other Yu-Gi-Oh shows? Right now, I've kind of been not at all. I haven't really seen anything recently.
But up until now,
oh, Jesus. I don't know. I was like, Duel Monsters, I was like probably in the 70s, 80s or
Shit.
so. 5Ds was like in the 30s, and I believe GX was just after season 1.
You watched all of season 1 GX?
Yeah. So, but I've stopped for reasons as we've talked about.
Yeah.
So I haven't
Right,
watched
but
in
still,
about over a month.
you're
Right.
talking about like
So-
200 episodes,
Yeah,
right?
it's
total?
and also you have to remember I watched them like at the same time.
I know.
So like I just kind of varied.
You're
Sometimes
getting to the meat. 5D's Dark Signers, dude. Something to
we'll talk
wallow
more
at.
about that off camera.
Yeah.
Yes. So we'll go back into some donos.
Sure.
Elizabeth W is here.
Liz.
Liz.
Donated $5 and
Thank you,
said, I had a
Liz.
lot of fun
You're
this
great.
weekend and will tweet some pictures to you tomorrow. I will say that Roboppy's death was just as sad to me as Earth's.
Oh, nice.
Liz went up to Boston. So, yeah, please
Yo.
send us some pics.
Yeah, I mean, I've
That's
probably
awesome.
talked about it a few times on either this or the After Dark podcast, but I've been to Boston twice in the past 2 months.
So jealous.
And I love it. It's like one of my new favorite cities.
Yeah.
I would love to go there. The
It's
American
amazing.
history would be
Yeah,
amazing.
I mean the history. Yeah, and like being like Boston, Cambridge, like that whole. It's amazing.
Yeah. Thank you, Liz.
And also
Thank you.
shouting
Looking
out
forward to that.
Arrow, Stephen Amell, who's Oliver Queen there, just did the last meet and greet before the show ends in Boston.
Oh,
So
sick.
that would have been great this weekend to be
Wow.
involved
Maybe
with that.
she was there.
Yeah, maybe. Never
Was
know.
that at like a convention?
No, I think he just met up like at
Oh,
some
okay.
local place.
Okay, 'cause I
apparently.
know she went to. I'm
Newberry Comics. And
90% sure she
Faneuil
went to
Hall.
a con.
But who knows? Maybe he wasn't a con. I don't know.
Yeah.
So he also could have done that too. Brian Ford donated another $5.
Brian.
Thank you, dude.
generous.
Said the
Jeez.
true fools are the people at 4K Media for not getting the Vrains dub out in the United States. Shaking my head.
It's definitely, if anything, just a major missed opportunity and
It's just
letdown.
really weird. Like you can get so much more appeal, so much more like just the dub. Can be out
I
there.
know
Maybe
I
no
know
one
a
wanted
good
to pick
I
it
know a
up.
good amount of people that are waiting for the dub, not watching Vrains because they're waiting
Right,
for the
wouldn't you
dub.
want to check it out? Some people really do not like subtitles.
Some people can't
Yeah.
watch with subs. My brother can't. He
And so
refuses to watch
You're
subs.
missing a
Jordan,
huge
yeah.
part of the market. Like, what is the holdup? Is it something legal? Is it just like what
I
is it?
imagine that just no station wants to pick it up.
Yeah, but you can dump
You can put
anything on
anything
Netflix.
online.
Yeah, you could dump it.
anything online these days.
I mean,
You can create your own website and
they could
just
do it on
embed the.
YouTube.
You could upload on
hypothetically.
YouTube. That's what Cardfight Vanguard does. They upload all
Yeah.
their
they
episodes
can't
on
make
YouTube.
a deal somehow with like I know usually show end with Crunchyroll, but there's no way you can make it there where like you have it kind of
Yeah, you can upload the dub on Crunchyroll.
right?
Absolutely.
Even though it's not over, why can't you do that?
You can
Where's
absolutely
the deal
do that.
there. You already have the deal for the sub.
Yep. Crunchyroll has sub and
Really
dub.
weird.
Yeah.
Very strange.
Makes no sense.
A little bizarre.
That would be one of the mysteries that if any news ever came out on that, you got to report that. Like,
Yeah.
if a leak happens of why it hasn't happened.
Oh,
that-
immediately.
Yeah, it'd be
immediately.
very interesting.
I mean, the crazy thing to me is that, I mean, now it becomes like, are we going to get Yu-Gi-Oh! 7 news before we get Vrains English dub in the U.S. news? That is inexplicable.
It's been really weird. Talk about breaking precedents, right? You have the dub going on here where it's not in the United States or a lot of other major places. There's no manga for this show.
Yeah,
it's
that's
very
true.
strange.
That's true. I
everything
overlook
that's
that
going
a
on.
lot. Yeah.
Yeah.
So-
Yeah, it's changing courses, breaking precedents.
Certainly. Davis Enos is here
Davis.
What's
and
up?
donated $5.
The
And he
dude.
said Revolver will win and will take out Soulburner for the remainder of the season, mainly due to Soulburner's VA will be busy with, I would assume, My Hero Academia Season 4 in the fall.
That's great.
so,
That's
I mean, that's, again, another possibility. We've speculated with, is that something going on with Spectre's
Spectre.
VA?
yeah.
That happens sometimes. So, you never know.
Conflicts,
Yeah. Well, Davis, do we want to do predictions for Revolver
That
Soul
would
I
Burner
think
be
now?
that's a
Great turning-
perfect spot
Yeah,
to
it's
do it.
perfect. We're gonna do it. So I have Calibros.
You also should know that you have quite a few donations following that, so just keeping that in
Yeah,
mind.
okay, I will. But we'll talk about this quick, then we'll finish up donations. We'll wrap things up. And thank you guys so much for that. That means the world. So Pete and Nick T are down by 2 points behind me and Cal. You get 1 point for each win. I don't have the exact records for us.
What did we say for?
The loser gets. We all said Soul Burner would win.
Oh yeah.
The loser has to buy the whole team a steak dinner. All 4 of us a steak dinner.
Right.
It's gonna be incredibly expensive.
Yeah, in New York. So that, I mean, we're not just picking for the fun of it. There are heavy stakes on these picks. So, Nick T, You have to write down what your answer is, just so that you can't.
Oh, that would,
Yeah. So write it down, Pete. Don't look.
I'm not looking.
I won't look either.
I actually
Good thing I'm
can
left-handed.
keep it going while this is happening.
Yeah.
Luke,
So-
no problem for answering your question.
So Nick T is just writing it down. I'm not looking. Pete's not looking.
RedEye said there is a
RedEye?
U.S. striker in Azuma 11, a soccer anime called Dylan during the
Okay.
World Cup arc.
I know the anime Azuma 11. Yeah, I know. I've heard of it. So there is
Elizabeth
someone.
W. also said I think the closest you are getting to a Dylan in anime is Dylan in Arc 5, Reggie's English name.
Oh, Declan, yeah.
Declan,
Declan,
so
yeah.
that's
That's
another
true.
one.
That one, that does, as long as it's not Dylan Liz, it doesn't bother me. Okay, so, Pete, Revolver Soulburner, and please, let us know the reasoning for it. And everyone in the chat right now, all of you, right now, tell us who you think is going to win between Revolver and Soulburner. Pete, you're up.
Also, Nick T. Jalen just said he's also left-handed, so that's awesome.
Lefties, yeah, Leonardo da Vinci.
What's
That's all I have
your
to say
pick?
about that.
You know, this one was really tough. You know, I know I say that a lot, but like this is like seriously.
No.
I was
This is
pretty
tough.
confident in the Soulburner one.
Right.
Like
Easy.
I was like, this is gonna happen. There's no way. Like after what's happened, he needs a win.
Yeah.
It's Roboppy. Like it was gonna happen.
The hardest one for me to predict has been Roboppy, Ghost Girl, Blood Shepherd. That was the
Yeah,
hardest
and that
one.
one. Yeah, just because I was like, I wasn't.
We didn't
I was
know what they were gonna
unsure
do with
what
Roboppy.
was going on with
Yeah,
Roboppy.
yeah, yeah.
Another Haru. Things
Right,
like that.
right.
So, thinking about that, I went back and forth between I'm almost, for me in my head, 90% sure that Soulburner's not winning.
Okay.
But the two I was deciding between, I was like, is it going to be a no result draw,
Right.
or is Revolver outright going to win?
Right.
So like I went back and forth on that a lot, but I
Yep.
just I have to go with my gut, and I just don't think they'll do another no result draw. They did it before. I understand that was kind of jokish, even though it wasn't, because there was still emotion behind it.
yeah.
And,
Right.
and this is for real, right?
Right.
You know, we see the envelope that Soulburner is now in possession of that is kind of assigned to Yusaku.
Right.
So if somehow that's the cause of Revolver getting involved, I'm interested to see how they do that. But to me, he kind of needs a win here, Revolver. I mean, we
Yeah.
really haven't seen anything. The last we've really majorly seen of him do anything was him losing the Lightning. Okay,
Yes.
and that
Yeah.
was a loss.
Yeah.
And so
yes.
that's my favorite death scene
was
so
a
far in
loss.
the show. But that was a loss. How is he going to come back and lose again?
Right.
And,
Absolutely.
And the stuff with all about the VAs, like they just pointed out, and I've seen all that stuff. I think that Soulburner has had more attention this season and throughout the show in some ways in the last couple seasons.
Sure.
And I think it's going to be a Revolver win. It's going to be a great duel, but I'm picking Revolver.
Flip that page open. What did I say?
You said Revolver wins.
Revolver wins.
All right.
Yeah, I mean, I think there's a lot of things at play here.
I just thought, like, Dylan just opens the page and it just says, "You're a clown." Like, it's just one of those.
You're an asshole.
That'd be amazing. Yeah, well, so there's a few things.
What are a lot of people in the chat
Oh,
saying?
true. Yeah, let's hear them. Hear the people.
Let me jump down here. Mostly Revolvers.
Okay,
yes.
a few
There's
Soul Burners
there's-
scattered.
There's a couple, but there's a lot of Revolver.
Okay.
Overwhelming.
I figured it would be like 80-20, maybe 90-10 Revolver.
So we got to figure on top of what Pete said, because obviously I think Revolver does need a win. And on top of the VA stuff, we're in a position where probably, Soulburner now has this envelope in his hands with a hint to where I will be. Likely, maybe wants to withhold that from Revolver, and Revolver getting it will move the plot forward. I think it's necessary for Revolver to get it. On top of that, I think the setting. I mean, the duel is taking place where it all began, where Yusaku and Soulburner were like being held. This is an emotionally jarring place for
Absolutely.
Soulburner. He's out of his element entirely, and I think he doesn't. Not that he doesn't stand a chance, because obviously it's going to be a great duel. But in the end, there's no way. It just, to me, Revolver's at a huge advantage with the choice of field.
Yep. So Calibro, I will read you what Calibro said. Calibro.
Gotta go with my boy Soulburner.
That's a good
Calibro, a huge Soulburner fan, wrote Revolver frowny face. So
Wow.
Calibro,
Yeah.
not rooting for Revolver, picked Revolver.
It-
And he wrote his reasoning. I just think that there needs to be a Playmaker versus Revolver duel again at some point, which means Soulburner is going to lose. So that was his reasoning. So you guys
That's
all
also-
kind of gave different reasonings,
Yeah.
which is interesting.
I could see that happening too.
Yeah.
Because you never know whose intentions are going to be what.
Right. Look, this is a duel that had to have happened. These two do not like each other.
And that's been
More
on
animosity from Soulburner towards Revolver.
Well, completely understandable.
It makes sense that if for Soulburner to win, it would make sense because he gets over it, right?
Right.
He fills that void, which I still think you can do in a loss by venting out your emotions.
Right.
Especially at the place where it all happened, where he lost his life almost, where he lost a
would
huge
say,
part of his
yeah.
life.
Yeah. It's definitely been a damning part of his life.
Yes.
Everyone from the lost incidents affected them greatly.
Absolutely. You guys remember 2018?
I mean, it's, it's in the fog,
Right, it's in the fog. You remember Revolver dueled Windy? You remember that duel way back?
This is one of my favorite duels of the show.
Way back about a year ago at this point.
Yeah.
I think it was about 45 episodes ago.
68, 69.
That was the last time Revolver won a duel, which is
It's been a
crazy.
long
And
time.
been a long road.
before that, the last duel Revolver won was against Go, which was in episode 43,
Oh my
almost
God.
another year before that. Okay, that wasn't as long.
Yeah.
So Revolver really, as the main rival, needs a big cement win. He's not going to get it against the protagonist, most likely, even though he did manage 2 draws and 4 results, which is good.
Excellent.
Especially
duels
against
every time
Playmaker.
they-
Oh, yeah, 4 great duels. Revolver will defeat Soulburner. He needs the win more. Since Soulburner has shown up in this show, Revolver has won 1 duel. Soulburner has won, I can think of 4 or 5 really solid ones off the top of my head. He's beaten Windy as well.
Yep.
He beat Blue Maiden,
Yes.
or it was Blue Girl at the time.
Yeah, right.
He beat Go. He beat Roboppy. That's 4 solid wins, and I'm probably missing one in there.
I mean, had a great duel against Bowman.
Good duel against Blood Shepherd as well, where he put out a draw, where
Exactly.
he thinks that he would have won, even though he would have won, but Blood
Draw,
Shepherd.
I categorize that more as a no result because of what kind of happened there.
Oh yeah, that was a no result.
Yeah,
That
yeah.
wasn't a draw. I apologize. Soulburner and Blood Shepherd was a no result. That was not a draw. One of the only no
But he
results
would
in
have
the
most
show.
likely won.
Soulburner had the edge on that final attack. Blood Shepherd claimed to his stepsister, that he would have won. So who knows?
It's hubris, It's always pride. in
Sure.
that.
Revolver will win. He needs the win more, and it just having Revolver and Playmaker. There's more. No pun intended. There's more fire to the flame there that could happen.
Yeah, absolutely.
Those two can go up against each other. Soulburner stays alive, and it's just Soulburner and Playmaker. Those two are allies thick and thin. There's no conflict there. Playmaker and Revolver, there still could be animosity
it'd
there.
be
So I
too
kind of
easy.
agree with Caliber's reasoning that maybe they do need to duel again. I think having both of them alive, they still have potentially vastly different ideologies, and that could clash. Playmaker
Yeah.
and Soulburner don't have that dynamic.
Yep.
If I could, I'll comment back to that. I will say that there is still a possibility that even with Soulburner losing, he can still possibly get over a lot.
I
of the
agree.
things
Oh,
that happen.
absolutely.
And
He
a
can express those.
Soulburner loss in this case does not mean that he will die, actually.
No.
And a Revolver loss, I guess, doesn't mean that either.
Because I also don't think it's like I or the Ignis or anything else. He doesn't really have a reason to turn, Hamura into Data.
No, he won't.
Yeah.
It's just kind
He
of
won't.
getting him out of the way that you owe me something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
Log
want
him
that.
out or
Give it to me.
something. I don't know.
Yeah.
And the other thing I will counter as well is Yusaku and Revolver could fight again.
Right.
But honestly, the way things have been going, Yusaku's kind of been more on the side of Revolver. When
Mm-hmm.
you
It's
see,
like he
even
wants to
maybe
kill
he's
the-
putting up a front,
Yeah.
but it seems to be like, hey, when we meet we need to eliminate him.
Yep.
Like he's not the same
yeah.
person
Yeah.
anymore. He's not the same AI anymore.
Right.
Right.
So that's possible too.
But now, yeah.
So you heard it here. You heard it from us. All 4 of us
Unanimously.
have picked Revolver
There's going to
unanimously.
be no change in the standings either way.
No change in the standings.
We're
So,
in deep water.
We're in deep
but
water.
if the next duel is I versus Playmaker, I have a feeling we will not all pick
No, because
unanimously.
like that will determine a lot what's going on. Like, has a new opening been announced by then?
Right.
So we know the show is going to continue.
Right.
Do we think the show's ending? So then, like, it's pretty obvious who's going to win. Like, there's a lot there.
And most
There's a lot
likely,
that has to happen before any of this.
that prediction will come before we get the September summaries,
Yeah.
which is good.
Which is
So we will not be picking the same 4. I'm telling you, we will not agree
I do
on that.
see from earlier a way that it ends. Like, let's say the show ends, and Yusaku wins. He takes out Ai, stuff like that. What if the show ends where it's like it's not in a mad or an unhappy way or anything else, but he kind of, because of everything he went through and taking out Ai, he kind of puts down his dual disc and that's how the show ends. It's like
Kind of like how the ending
he
ends.
he
says
literally
he's
just
not
puts down his
dueling
tool.
anymore. I've done it, and that's that. And
That'd be
that's
pretty
what we see
amazing.
there in the opening.
And
That'd
at
be
the
pretty
end.
amazing.
Yeah.
And it would
And
be
the
so
ending.
polar opposite because it almost ends like every Yu-Gi-Oh show, like dueling is a way to stick together and be happy and
fun's
make
just
friends.
beginning, isn't it?
And
Right.
the fun has just begun and to entertain. And this is like a polar opposite show
Where
where it's been depressing the whole way through. And then
Right.
it ends with like, hey, I'm retiring.
Right. It doesn't even have to be depressing. It could just be like a satisfying, like, hey, I went through a journey. I've saved the world several times,
It's
but
time
I
to put
went
the
through
disc
too
down.
much. I'm over
That'd be great, man.
the lost incident, but I want to be done with
I'd
this.
love a somber ending like
That'd be
that.
great.
Absolutely. So, yeah. Hopefully you
There you
guys
have
enjoyed our thoughts there, and we will finish up by reading the donations that you guys have been so
Yes.
kind to send us.
Yes,
Thank
we-
you, really,
Need to go through those.
sincerely. And yeah, let's get
Let's
into
hear it.
this.
All right, so Elizabeth W. donated another $5.
Thank you, Liz.
And said, I really do hope that Vrains does continue past these 6 or 7 episodes because I feel like it would end too sudden to me. Also, I just woke up and saw you were live.
Oh, sick.
So-
You woke up at midnight? Jeez, you're on some sleep schedule there,
I
Liz.
love it.
But thank you for the donation. I agree with her. But at the same time, if it goes to maybe January, as you said,
Could be cool.
and it lasts another, what would that be, like 20 episodes? I could
That could work. I
That's
would
enough
be-
time.
I would
See,
be cool
that's-
with
yeah.
that.
If we're within 10 episodes from the show ending, I completely agree with her. I don't see how it wraps up concisely.
No.
But we'll see. I agree with you, Liz. It's going to be sad to see it go. I hope it does go to 2020.
And I hope it ends well.
Yeah, most
Yes.
importantly.
Cloud Nation also commenting part of the journey is the end.
Yeah.
He's not wrong, dude.
Avenger shout out.
He's not wrong.
yeah.
Yeah. So I would love to see that. I believe this is Sakia Chrono. Is that how you say it?
Sakaki Chrono, yep.
Sakaki Chrono donated $5.
Thank you,
He
Sakaki.
said, if any of you could or would change any part or parts of Yugioh Vrains so far, including season 3, what would it be? Or they, like, what would you change and why? I would, for me, off the top of my head, I would give more weight to the stuff you built up with Blood Shepherd. I think that just the way, what a cool character he opened up as, and it's just been very flat, he loses every time. Yes, he gave a great duel against Lightning, but, like, almost everything is a loss.
Yeah.
So, like, I mean, what's his significant win against Emma?
That's it.
I mean, like,
It's his only win.
so it's just, and early on, especially his dueling style for me, and I think Caliber said this as well, was very, very, very boring.
Mm-hmm.
So I would have done that character a little bit differently. Maybe went more into his personal life and see the other side when he's not in the Vrains.
Right.
I think there's a lot of interesting things there with the loss of his mother and what he did to him physically
Mm-hmm.
and mentally. They've kind of dropped the ball, in my opinion, on that.
I like the specificness of picking him. I'm going to go more general, and I'm going to say more real life stuff.
Okay.
I mean, that's absolutely what I would do. I've loved the real life interaction, especially recently between Yusaku and Aoi, and even Yusaku and Homura. I would focus more on real life, on the personal lives, on these characters interacting with each other outside of the Vrains, which has just become a giant gravestone for most of the cast. Because I think when you do that, you start to connect to these characters more. You start to appreciate them more. They're not just duelists; they're
Right, they're
actually
people.
human beings. And I think season 3, especially with how quickly it got off to, kind of missed that a little bit.
Yeah, especially one of my favorite scenes that you've also pointed out, Dylan, in this season was when Akira's just walking around, kind of knowing that this is it.
Yep.
Those
That was so
more
human.
real moments.
The
I think,
mortal
would be
moments.
great.
Yeah, when they have mortality.
Where they actually take the time to go, man, death is a real important thing.
Yeah.
Yep. For me, I'd have to say 3 words: justice for Hart. No, no. On a serious note, I wouldn't have given Spectre an silent off-screen death.
Yeah.
Any way that they could have done that, kept him in, or I don't know. I mean, obviously we have our theories about why that happened and what happened there, but that I wish didn't happen that way.
Even if his voice actor isn't there, Revolver could have said, one of the knights could have said when they were hanging out in the main room, "Oh, where is Spectre?" Revolver could have said, "Oh, I sent him off to do a mission from the real world."
Yeah.
Something vague like that. And then for the last, 5 months, we're wondering, oh, what's Spectre up to?
Yeah.
Then you can actually bring him back in the show.
Right.
And, maybe it stays unanswered, but I still think that's better treatment
Right,
for his
than an
character than
off-screen
losing off screen
No
with
dialogue.
no dialogue.
Not even a final life point drain out. Nothing.
No,
Literally nothing.
it just flies off his board data.
Yeah. I will say another one that reminded me of that I think there's no way it's coming back. Is Revolver saying we have the spy inside Soulsec.
Oh, yeah.
I would have actually, whether it was Hayami or someone else, I would have made
Followed
use
through.
and followed use
Yeah.
of that because I thought that
Yeah.
was a very intriguing, awesome plot point. that also explains how they have all this information and are
Right,
always 5
right.
steps ahead. They kind of drop the ball
Like
on that.
on one hand,
Well,
of
that-
course, it
yeah.
could still like pop up as some sort of twist thing. On the other, it would have been far more interesting to have a subplot, small subplot, from that whole journey.
They dropped the ball in that whole scene. Well, that was an amazing scene where I was like, I'm starting to hate humans too, and it was
That's
foreshadowing.
great, amazing.
Revolver, right before they go into the Vrains, gives Yusaku a program and says, this will come in handy for you. We have yet to see Yusaku use that program.
Maybe
There's
it'll
a few
happen
things.
inside.
Maybe it will.
Or maybe like with
Unanswered question.
I know that like
There's a lot.
early on when the show started, there was a lot of writing and direction
Mm-hmm.
changes. For the most part, as far as I know, it's been pretty consistent, right, since that change.
Yeah.
So they just those same guys that wrote
Yeah.
it just forgot.
Wrote
and
it
they just
out.
wrote it
It's
out of the
done.
show. It's
I don't
really
know.
weird.
Yeah.
So I would have changed a lot of that.
Yeah, sure. That great question, Sakaki.
Very good question. Yeah.
Photon donated $10
Oh,
wow, nice.
thank you, Photon.
and said, "I have a theory in opening 3. Yusaku and I are speed dueling. Then in another scene, they aren't. Can it be that they were teasing that the first duel between them is that, and then the second duel will be a master duel?"
Possible.
Maybe.
Very
Although, yeah.
The spoiler. Yeah.
Well, yeah, because of the wording.
But maybe the wording is very purposeful and I don't know. But
See,
that'd be interesting.
I got more. The only time we see them actually summoning monsters, though, Photon, is when they're in speed dueling.
Right.
When they have the scene, I know the one he's talking about when they're standing right before the actual chorus comes in, and Yusaku, it zooms out on his face, and then it zooms in on Ai's face, and Yusaku,
It's a reflection of his eye.
yeah.
Excuse me.
But they're just standing across from each other.
Yeah.
I don't
It's
think
not
they have their
necessarily a
dual
duel,
discs.
yeah.
So I don't think that necessarily is foreshadowing a master duel. I think it's just foreshadowing the standoff.
I did
hard
like
to
that
say.
scene though with the eyes.
Oh, it's an amazing
Oh,
scene.
it's so
Oh,
it's
it's
so
really
yeah.
cool.
And I know a few people did interpret that as a possible master duel foreshadow. I just think they're going to speed duel this one time, and whenever they do duel, and that's going to be that.
You never know.
We'll see. We will see.
I believe this is Seriously Orion donated €5
Thank you, seriously.
and said, "I am off to work for a 7 a.m. to 4 p.m. Have
Yikes.
fun with the rest of the streams." Obviously, this was a while ago. If Yusaku lost, do you think he would have a similar arc to Judai when he lost to Edo?
Yeah, if there was enough time, I think he would. To Edo. I'm thinking when I thought that was when. No, I'm thinking of. I thought the question was going to be when Judai became the Supreme King. No, probably not that. Yeah, the Edo one makes more sense, where he was able to he got depressed. He was unable to duel. He couldn't physically see the cards anymore.
Oh wow.
The problem I have though is the time limit that they're on.
Who knows?
Right, but
yeah.
even if I'm assuming that it's going to go to March 2020, do we have enough time? I guess we do have enough time for him to have that redemption if they duel soon enough.
Sure.
So I think it's possible, Orion. Good luck at work today, dude.
Yeah,
That's a
geez,
brutal
that-
shift.
Man.
Gonna come home at 4:30 and just sleep. That's what I would do.
Yeah, know the feeling.
Yeah.
Matt, Infernity King, donated another $5
Thank you, Matt.
and said, "I can see Dylan now in Florida. Quote, Florida man being chased by cops says, I activate my trap card magic cylinder."
Oh my god.
If you ever see a headline like that, there
know.
probably is a headline like that
Probably
in Florida.
somewhere. There's
Yeah,
probably some Yu-Gi-Oh related headline from
I
Florida.
I sincerely hope so.
that's amazing. Thank you so
Florida
much,
has
Matt.
that was a great comment, man.
Very Florida man.
Type in Florida man anything, and you will find a variety of things.
Oh yeah,
Brian Ford donated another $2.
thank you,
And
dude.
said, "Dylan, when will you do a Yu-Gi-Oh Everything tour?" Which is what we talked about earlier. That's the plans for 2020.
yeah,
2020.
yeah,
So-
2020. That is the plan. I just
It
announced
may
them.
not
That
be
is
like
the
an
plan.
official tour, but
But
he'll try to make it.
if you go in
small-
places, I'm sure way in advance you will announce the plans.
Absolutely,
Hit
absolutely.
some cons up.
Yeah, it'd be great.
That'd be absolutely great.
Yeah,
Infernity King Matt donated another $5
thank you, Matt.
and said, "First, Pete, you are a legendary philosopher." I don't know about that, Matt. But thank you very
Wow.
much. And,
Socrates.
Oi.
and Nick T, watch Gundam Iron Blood Orphans, best Gundam
know.
ever.
I need
he
to
keeps
watch
telling
it.
you this, so
I
do
know. I know. I recently torrented literally like almost everything.
Good.
it. That's the way to do it.
Gundam wise. So I want to watch IBO really badly. I might, and because it's not tied to any other timeline, I may just jump into it like now.
Yeah, I think that'd be good.
Why not?
Especially, you just got some free time. That'd be good.
Exactly. Yeah.
Light Melody, the voice actor,
Yes.
donated $10.
Thank you so much.
And said,
Thank you.
Random
I like
fact
that
I
name.
found out. I like
Okay.
that a lot. Pretty Cure, which started same year GX aired,
Okay.
is a Sojo, I assume, magical girl?
Yeah, Sojo.
Anime, which got their first magical boy last year. I'm going to bed now. Goodbye.
Oh, okay. So that's cool. I guess that's kind of like if Shonen or that genre or
Right.
Yu-Gi-Oh had like a girl protagonist.
Right.
It's just
Right.
different.
It's possible.
Yeah.
Like, and I know you said in one of your videos, like, it's basically like seeing like a 5% or a 1% chance.
But if
I
it could
think,
happen,
I think in today's day and age, I know it's hard in the Japanese culture, but I think it would appeal to a lot of people.
Yeah.
You know, and I don't
Just
think
because
it
it's
necessarily
different.
is going to turn off a mostly male audience. Why?
Right.
Yeah. It doesn't need to be.
That's the thing.
Yeah.
As long as the character is likable, that's the most important
Right.
thing. I don't think there's. Well, there definitely are
Just because
people.
All opposite gender doesn't mean they're immediately unrelatable.
No.
Like it's the human condition. We're all, even in a TV screen, an animated character, you could still relate to them on a human level.
Yeah.
Right? They're
Yeah.
still going through X, Y, and Z.
Oh, yeah. I completely agree.
But yeah, I mean that's a fair point. If a magical girl anime can have a magical boy, why not a shonen have a girl protagonist?
Right. It doesn't happen often. It does happen.
Right.
We'll see.
Right.
Gustav also pointed out the fact that I would also settle for and be okay with. How about just a female rival?
That too.
Yeah.
I would
Yeah.
take that as well.
True. Also
love
could be
that.
very cool.
Would love that. And again, it's not even from a perspective like, oh, it's never happened. Actually, well, that probably is the perspective. Just that
would
it's
help,
never happened
but also
before.
I just think it would be.
It's
It
never
never
gonna happen.
happening is we're in uncharted territory.
That's what it is for me. That's the appeal.
Of like we can take a lot of interesting angles. with
Yeah.
this, and I
Right,
think that'd
yeah.
be really cool.
The
Yeah.
fact that Uncharted territory is fun.
Yes, for me
Always.
it is. I love it.
Say when we talked about predictability earlier, this would be completely unpredictable.
Exactly.
Oh yeah.
So, Brian Ford donated another $5.
Thank you, Brian.
Wow.
So-
Said we may all have different favorite protagonists, but we can all agree that the best character in all of Yukio
Is Naoki.
Shima.
What happened to him this season? Actually, going back to
Thank
Sakaki
God.
Chrono's point, that's what I would change. I'd give Naoki a couple more duels.
No, I'm just so
Couple?
glad.
All of them.
I mean, he was. If he never shows up again in the
be
show,
so happy.
that's going to be on my top 10
If he never
disappointments
duels
list.
again, I'd be fine. If he doesn't show up, I'd be a little upset.
Yeah, I agree with you.
Whoa,
Sorry.
violence.
You know what? Like he deserves a one-line thing in the last episode of the show, and that's all I want to hear. Something annoying to Yusaku that he just shrugs off. I mean, that's what he is. He's a joke. Let's be real.
No, he's a very. I think he's a.
No, now I'm stopping you, and we're continuing with this. Stop with your rambling BS.
Maybe I would love to hear him say like, "Wow, it turns out I really was Playmaker's best friend the whole time."
That would be an amazing twist. Oh, life is good, man.
Finding out
Anyway.
that Yusaku's Playmaker,
Yeah.
like, wow, we really were best friends.
Maybe you'll finally admit that Yusaku is actually
A better duelist than
yeah,
him.
and meant to be in the dueling club. God. Dylan, congratulations, you have a new member.
Oh, thank
cool.
you so much.
Welcome, Grace Gramling.
Grace
Grace
Gramling.
Gramling. I like the
Grace.
name, the alliteration.
Thank you so much. Thank you, really. Close to. I think I have 2 emote slots. I just added the Judai with that shocked face. I
For
got.
whatever reason, people earlier, and I have no idea why, but thank you very much, were asking for the Pete emote.
Okay,
Yeah,
a P
I would
emote's coming.
spam that.
I have 2 open slots right now. You get more slots as more members join.
Right,
Pete
so
emote is
join.
coming. So I'll take a few pictures of Pete with the green screen and
Jesus Lord.
I'll get working on that.
That'd be beautiful.
Yeah.
I'm scared. Brian Ford donated another $10.
Oh,
wow.
Jesus.
And
Thank you
says,
so much, Brian.
This duel is really hard to predict.
Yeah.
If Soulburner loses, his arc doesn't end, or it gets its closure. But if Revolver loses, it kind of ruins the Playmaker rivalry.
Exactly.
But knowing the next duel, I pick Soulburner.
wow.
Right. A lot of people say for it to get to Playmaker and I, doesn't Soulburner need to give Playmaker the data and say, hey, take this, face I?
But I think it's all going to come down to the dialogue at the beginning of the next episode with what what Soulburner wants to do with that information, with what Revolver wants to do with that information. 'Cause Revolver could be on the same page as Playmaker
Yeah.
and want to use it, whereas
It's going to be interesting.
we don't-
Interesting
we don't know.
dynamics. Thank you so much for that big donation, Brian.
I
Thank
think
you,
it's a
dude.
possibility that Revolver wins, and he's like,
All right, let's
Yusaku,
go.
I trust you. Let's go. Like,
Yeah,
let's
let's do it.
this.
Yeah.
I mean, you don't know. I think it's going to be very, very interesting how that
Yeah,
plays out.
definitely.
I mean, as far as Revolver knows, we're neither on the same. But the last conversation they had about it is like, yeah, you're right. When we see him, we need to eliminate him.
I agree.
So as far as they both know, they're on the same page.
Right.
Unless he's putting up a front. So we'll have to find out.
Right, exactly.
This was a little bit ago, as all these donations are, but I specifically shout this one out. And I
Okay.
hope you're still here. Sandy Espinosa donated $50
Holy
wow.
fuck.
and said Revolver is going to use another classic trap card. Drum roll, please. Ring of Destruction.
Oh, I love
And
it.
cause a draw, but Soulburner tells him with his last moment the location of I.
Wow.
That also, I could see a mutual destruction thing as well.
Yes.
Destruction would be cool.
First of all, thank you, Sandy.
Yes.
Jesus Christ.
Wow.
That is a
I
very
hope you're still
substantial
here,
amount.
Sandy.
Yeah,
Is Sandy a
Sandy.
frequent commenter?
Yeah, Sandy. I know Sandy. Yeah.
That's awesome.
Sandy, thank you so much from the bottom of my heart. That is a extremely generous donation. Whenever I get a donation like that, I don't even know what to say. But thank you
that's
so
so nice.
much.
Good comment as well.
Yeah.
Very good comment.
Yeah, very insightful comment.
Yeah,
I like that a
the
lot.
drum roll setup.
I think Revolver needs to use another classic trap. We've seen the 4. In fact,
he has them all.
in the,
It's
revol-
just what he does.
in the Revolver structure deck, they give you the 4 traps that he used: Mirror Force and Magic Cylinder. It's good.
Magic Cylinder, dude.
Yeah, I would love Ring of Destruction. I think that would be really, really awesome to cause a draw or maybe to cause early damage. I think it would be really, really cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think someone in your stream when you were opening that commented that, like, Revolver basically is there to provide nostalgia for the rest of
Yeah,
people in the
yeah.
video community.
They're
I
not
think that's
wrong.
sick.
They're not wrong.
So I think that'd be really
Ooh,
cool.
I am wrong. Revolver's last win was against Blood Shepherd, wasn't it?
Did they?
Yeah, they did duel.
Yeah, but also, like, that duel, like...
It's a forgettable
It-
duel.
like,
It
kind
was
of.
very
It
forgettable.
had, like, it was one episode. It literally was half the episode, and it was just... It was just like... Because I always
I know
think,
the part you're
think of the
thinking of.
no context rain scene where, like, it's just all of a sudden Blood Shepherd, he's doing the 1-2, and then Revolver just appears behind him. It's one of my favorite
Revolver
clips.
just slides in like it's a Windows Movie Maker transition, slide to the right, and then
You do
and then,
exactly
oh
what
yeah,
I
that's
did.
why. And then the GIF just ends and it repeats.
But, like, that's such a forgettable duel because it was basically Revolver just showing, like, Blood Shepherd, you're out of your element. I know you're going to go after the Ignis, but, like, they
You're
have
not
all
ready.
these
Yeah.
cars that you don't know about.
Revolver wanted Blood Shepherd to join the Knights.
Yeah, and
that
then
was
it
kind of a plot
inspired-
line that ended.
Yeah, it kind of just ended. And then, well, it inspired Blood Shepherd to go after Lightning directly.
Right,
Went to the
right,
Castle
right.
of Light, had a great duel. The
Castle of Light.
That's one of my favorite things in the show. And then had basically a perfect duel and basically didn't even scratch Lightning.
Yeah,
Right.
So,
yeah.
so a lot of interesting plot lines that could have
Thank
been developed.
Sandy. Seriously, thank you so
Yeah,
much.
That's very.
Thank
generous.
you.
Very, very generous.
Thank you.
Metziaku donated $2.
Mesta, thank you, man.
And said the battle piece will beat Soulburner and Revolver.
Uh-oh.
It's one of the few things I know about Arc 5, and I know it's something you do not like.
Video
best-
coming out soonish, probably within the next month and a half. That will be titled "The Worst Arc in the History of Yu-Gi-Oh." Has to do with that comment. I'm
Clickbait title.
not gonna. It is the clickbait title, but it'll have a picture of Battle Beast's fugly face right on it.
What does he look like?
He looks like
An animal?
no, yeah. When you think the word Battle Beast,
I think of like Ganondorf. No, Ganon. Excuse me. Like the Beast. Ganon.
I don't even know who that is.
Legend of Zelda. Ganondorf. Come on, bro.
I know Ganondorf. I made him.
Yeah.
Oh,
I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
Yeah, I see the
I'm kidding.
reference.
who do you main? That would be great.
Simon.
He's the same.
It's the same game. It's the same thing.
Anyone out there watch
Caleb City. Shout out
Shout
Caleb City.
out, excellent.
Yeah, how
excellent
sick it would be
comedic.
if Caleb was watching.
Oh, that'd be awesome.
I
Or
love
maybe
you.
we can get him to watch it.
Yeah, I love you, Caleb City.
Let's go back into our donations. Joseph Tedisco donated another $5
Joey, thank you, dude.
and said, "I feel like Revolver and Playmaker will battle when Revolver gets a Ritual Monster and a Link 5, so that'll be an even playing field."
That's the. I mean, with rivalries, that's sort of the idea, right?
gotta
Like they
think
end up on
Revolver.
the even playing field, and
Yeah.
in the end, the protagonist ends up on top.
Is that your ceremonial duel right now?
Revolver Playmaker,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Me too. It was
It
Playmaker
just
Eye
fits.
for a while, but
especially if they
Oh,
do not
yeah.
duel for the entire rest of the show, you got to end it like that.
yeah, they've gone for a main rival and a protagonist. They've gone a long time without dueling.
Yeah, what's
Yep.
going on?
Yeah.
And I did think at first I was with you that it was going to be I and Playmaker, but
With the way it's
obviously
shaping up,
what's
yeah.
happened,
Yeah.
no, it's not gonna be at all. Like
would
a
be weird.
1% chance.
Yeah.
So unless like the original I.
Some people
somehow,
think
but-
it could be Playmaker Soulburner, Playmaker Shoichi. Those are
I
options
think all
as
those
well.
would be really cool.
Yeah, those are
I
options.
think those are even honestly, I'd be cool with like Playmaker versus like Owie.
Yeah,
I'd be
I
cool
would
with
be-
that too.
Yeah.
I think that'd be really interesting. Brian
Agreed.
Ford again
Oh my
donated another
gosh.
$5.
Thank you,
He's been
dude.
very
Goodness.
active tonight, so
Jeez.
thank you very
Yes,
much, Brian.
thank
My
you,
goodness
Brian.
gracious.
And said, for me, if Soulburner loses, I can't see him ever getting closure for the lost incident. And I think he has to win to finally put everything behind him. I don't necessarily agree with that.
I don't,
But I
can
can see your
it.
point.
I respect it.
I respect it.
Sometimes, if you've ever, pretty much probably everyone here has been in a fight in their life.
Sure.
Whether a physical or just a screaming match.
Right.
Sometimes, even if things don't get fully resolved, you just letting out your emotions to the fullest where you're almost exhausted from letting it out sometimes solves the problem.
Yeah.
Gets it
Yeah.
off your chest.
Yeah.
A nice
Gets it
good-
off your mind.
Yeah.
So
Sometimes
that
a
could
nice
happen.
good cry really just makes you feel better.
That's
No,
also
you're-
true.
You're not wrong.
That is true. Goose is here.
Goose.
And he donated $5.
Goose.
And he said, made it. How's everyone doing?
Good, dude.
Like the medieval times music when Soulburner played with his new XZ's monster, I think the program is what Soulburner got.
That was what we didn't really talk about because the music in the episode was incredible.
Oh,
The music
so
during
sick.
Roboppy's
All the
scene.
changes, the terrifyingness, then the way it was like a Viking kind of medieval times funeral thing go out.
Yeah, very
Great,
interesting.
Yeah.
great musical changes. throughout
Good.
the
I was
episode.
glad you brought that up, Goose.
Yeah,
Great
good.
OST
Yeah.
in that episode. Thank
yeah,
you.
and his summoning was of the
Yeah.
X-Men
Oh,
monsters.
unreal.
Animation was good.
Unreal.
And that program, seemingly that I gave Roboppy, is the letter to Yusaku that now Soulburner
Right,
possesses.
Right.
Ute is here.
Oh,
Yes.
you.
Donated $2 and
Cute.
said, "Have you guys watched a Gundam 00?"
Have you watched any episodes?
No, man. Dude,
You're
I've been
sucked.
busy.
These people are roasting.
Dude, wait, this was was it not even a week ago that we talked about it? No, a week ago.
It was a week ago.
No,
We suck.
I'm a busy guy.
We suck, you.
We
I'm
suck.
sorry,
We
dude.
do suck.
We will watch them soon. But yeah,
I haven't turned on a television in like.
that's the problem. I just don't have time.
Yeah.
No,
wish
I
had
agree.
time.
There's so many.
Like-
I mean, Mindhunter
like, I
season
wanna
2
watch
just
it, so-
dropped. I still haven't watched.
But to be
every
fair,
single
I probably could have watched an episode. Instead, I watched, oddly enough, a 14-minute video on dry aging a $1 steak.
And sometimes like,
It was
it's
a really
nice to
enjoyable
just
video, but I should have watched
Turn
Double
your
O
mind
instead.
off with those videos and not invest yourself in a
Yeah.
show. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just happens.
We will watch the mute. I promise.
Yeah,
So it
no,
took
I
me like
really
7
wanna
months.
watch it. Maybe that one I'll watch. Maybe I'll watch both that and Iron Blooded Orphans at the same time.
It took me like 5 months to get through Code Geass.
Dude, once I get rolling though, I could
That's
really
right.
like get.
Yeah,
through a
I
bulk
go
of it.
through like different phases where I could
Right.
watch 10 episodes in 2 weeks and then not come back for 2 months.
That's exactly what it
I
was with
agree.
me. And
You
Code
know,
Geass, I
that's
watched the whole first season in 2 or 3 sessions. The 2 or 3 8-hour sessions. And then I did not start the next season for another like 3 months.
Right. That's like my brother and I with Hunter x Hunter.
And it's not that I didn't enjoy it.
Right, of
Like I
course.
love
Yeah.
the show.
Yeah, my brother and I are still watching Hunter x Hunter. We in the first 2 weeks we watched about 30 episodes, but it's a 150 episode, shonen, and like we stop, we put it down a little, but it's a lot, so we'll get through it. But we binged and then we stop. We'll binge.
It's just
stop.
the pacing
It's
always
the pacing.
varies.
Yeah,
That's just how it goes.
Ab-
life gets in
Absolutely.
the way, but I will watch Gundam 00
Thank you, Ute. You're the man.
sooner rather than later.
Hopefully. Maybe by the time Yugioh 7 starts.
Definitely before, because I love Gundam Exia.
Joseph Tedisco donated another $5.
Thank you, Joey.
Said, I
Joe.
remember seeing a theory where Earth would team up with Naoki because he consistently says he's Playmaker's best friend. Thank God that did not happen.
That'd be
I
funny.
completely agree with that.
I very much agree.
Um,
I'm
Yeah,
glad-
that
Yeah,
best
what-
friend
where did
thing with Emma was more than enough.
where did you hear that theory? I hear a lot of
That's a
colluded- that's a great
crack
theory.
theory.
That is
Talk about
like
crack theory.
that is like a beyond the crack theory. I mean, that's something else. Joseph, thank you for the donation, man. Shut the fuck
Whoa. Been crazy in here. Also, RedEye for just shouting out Martha to me. God damn it! I don't want to be reminded of that scene, please.
That scene didn't invoke emotion from you.
No, it was the opposite. I was almost like, why did all the anger, emotion, and intenseness just drain out in that 2 seconds? That's a whole nother conversation. Dill, you're gonna keep staying awake here, bud, because as I often say, you're not leaving. They keep donating.
Thank
Dave's
you,
Enos
guys.
donated $5.
Yo,
Thank you so
And
much,
said,
Davis.
Season 3 ends with Yusaku telling Naoki, "I am Playmaker," like the ending of the first ending of the Iron Man movie, and the screen cuts to black.
yo, oh yeah,
That
the
would
press
be-
conference. I love that scene.
That would be something.
Come
Like,
on,
that's
that
all
would
it
be
is.
awesome.
It would be like I don't mind him telling him. I just don't want that to be the final scene that cuts to black.
yeah.
Like, come on, that's ridiculous. I am Playmaker. Naoki shock face. The show ends. Like, are you kidding
The
me?
last scene of the show is the color fading out of Naoki's face.
Oh, God. I just
Or
gives me-
what
he
if
gets a
like
bloody
or what?
nose.
No. What if Naoki says, "I guess we were friends, best friends
Yeah,
after all,"
right.
and he reaches his hand, Yusaku smiles, they shake hands, then it cuts to
No,
black.
I would love Isaku smiles and he doesn't shake his.
I would even like the Iron Man scene where Rhodey has like he looks at the Iron Man suit and he goes next time. If there was like Naoki looks at a dual disc and just goes, next time, like he's gonna train more. Even if a scene was like that,
That'd
but
be
not
goofy.
that as
Come
the
on.
final scene. Come on, Jesus.
The final scene will be a Japanese song, Hino Sinakina, as Yusaku and Aoi look on the waterfront on Stardust Road on a bench.
Please no.
And the credits roll, and he's just going to put his arm around
I
her.
would actually be for a scene
Yeah, what do you mean,
like
please
that.
no? He's more on board with the Naoki scene.
Right, which
to
scares
finish
me.
the
I
show.
thought I knew you. I thought I
No,
knew
but
you.
We don't need forced romance.
That wouldn't be forced romance. That'd be a friendship. You've never had a friendship with a person from the opposite gender where you just put your arm around them as
It's
friends?
happened, or
All right,
no,
all right.
it's happened. Also, things develop. We don't know where it's gonna go
What was
here.
the last time they had the bench scene, and then what? When was the last time? We
Okay,
had
They're
we've
both
been
alive.
a little busy.
They're both alive. They're busy.
We've been busy.
Look,
Aoi is, looking
what? If-
at Akira's dead body.
If there's forced romance at the end, at
Yeah,
the
well-
last episode, all right.
It's like at the end. It's like, I'm really sorry to hear about your brother. Can I get those nudes?
If we get forced romance at like the last episode, I really don't care.
Yeah,
I'm
I
just
get
worried about forced romance is bad in the middle of the show.
yeah.
End of the
that
show,
means
I don't
the end
care.
of Aoi.
Right. Well, yeah. Never mind. We'll just keep going.
Luke said the last shot of the show is gonna be Jin just eating a hot dog.
That would be nice to
That
show
actually
us
would be nice.
in the real world. Yeah.
Poor Jin, man.
Nicholas Horton donated €5
Thank you,
and
Nick.
said, "I wouldn't mind a female antagonist." The Zexel
Manga.
and Arc 5 manga did.
All right, the Arc 5 manga did. Yes. Yeah.
I'd be
I forgot about you.
completely
Absolutely.
on board with that.
Yeah. It's the only pieces of media that I've ever done. So, like, they have tried it in the
they tried it,
mangas.
yeah.
We thought that Queen might be. Although I remember when I did my big prediction when we had, I think it was Jake on,
Yeah, it was Jake.
and we went around and did our predictions. And I think it was maybe it was Legendary and Jesse. Well, my big prediction for season 3 was that Queen was not going to be the main
Yeah,
antagonist,
that was
and everyone else
kinda-
was kind of like, "Oh, I think you're wrong. I don't."
No. I will give you credit on that
Yeah.
one. She just got completely wiped.
Yeah, I just get used
My
to it
waifu.
with women in Yu-Gi-Oh, man.
It happens.
You get used
Especially
to it.
like just no really development before that. So like,
No.
Yeah.
it just,
I mean, as long as
Something.
in Yu-Gi-Oh 7, it's either protagonist, antagonist, or rival.
I think it would be
I'd
cool.
Be happy.
I'd be really happy.
Just one of them.
Or just like even if it's just a girl in the regular role, if she's a well-written character, that'd
Yeah.
be cool.
I think it'd be very, very
Yeah.
good.
Yeah.
You had also wrote the last second of the show is Revolver going to prison.
Oh my god.
That'd be kind of cool.
It's like, yeah, you lured other kids.
I mean,
to,
he
like,
kind
a-
of did say at the end of this that he would give himself up, basically.
Yeah.
He said that.
Yeah.
So who knows?
Maybe.
I mean, what are his crimes? Like, does the rest of the world know in his real world persona? Like, he's just gonna.
True.
He's hidden behind his Revolver persona. They
Right.
don't know.
He could put the mask down and that's it. Never
so
be
he's
Revolver
just gonna
again.
willingly give himself up like that. I mean, it's
Also,
possible.
like, he was what, 10? All right, I mean, now that I guess his crimes now, but he's also 16. So, like, does he go to juvie? I don't know. Like,
I know. No, but it's interesting that I wouldn't count him for his crimes that his father basically forced him into.
right.
But
he's doing now,
as
yeah.
A,
The night-
as
the-
a pre-adult,
the Tower
he's
of Hanoi,
actively
yeah.
made decisions to be especially season 1,
terrorist.
a terrorist.
Cyber
Yeah,
terrorist.
yeah,
Yeah,
So, like,
absolutely.
That's a
there's
good point.
there's merit to that.
That's a
Yeah.
very good point.
Brian Ford continues his streak, donates $20.
Oh my freaking
Wow, dude.
God,
And he
dude.
said
Brian, thank you
also-
so much.
He's rolling.
Also, probably
Jesus.
won't be too active in the future since I go back to college this week, so probably won't be
Aw.
able to do much for a while.
That's
but I
fine.
will always love and support you, Dylan, and I hope I can support you more, even if it's just a little.
Brian, dude,
Wow,
you
that
don't-
is-
you do not even need to donate anything to support me. Just by watching my videos, actually, just knowing that you're around
Yeah.
makes me feel great, man.
Yeah,
So
he's
Best
great
of luck at
commenter,
college. Yeah,
active
you're.
community.
Yeah.
yes, yeah, dude, you're a great guy.
Great luck at college.
Good
Have
luck
great
to everyone going back to
Yes.
school. I know a lot of people are. Matthew told me very similar things. So you guys are all amazing to me. And never feel bad. I always say this to patrons, especially when I do calls with them. Never feel bad if you have to get rid of your pledge. If you have to stop donating, get rid of your donation, get rid of your pledge or like decrease it.
Right.
That, again, you have to take care of yourself first before supporting anyone like that.
Yeah.
I completely understand that. And just donating once, a $2, $1 donation, or pledging for a month. I mean, I'm so in debt to you at that point that please do not feel guilty at all.
Yeah.
Good luck with college, man. Thank you so much for everything.
And
Absolutely.
also, anyone out there, if you've ever want to procrastinate in college and you need a distraction, we're still here. If you want to
Yeah.
come back.
Yeah.
Well, that's the thing. Yu-Gi-Oh!
So-
7, you stuck with me for the next of course, you could always block my channel, but otherwise, you're stuck with me for the next 3.5 years. Hopefully,
Yeah.
you guys.
Right. I
do
mean,
you-
think about it, it's way worse for us. Think about how long we're stuck with
I
it.
have. Well, I know. I haven't Hey, what
No.
I haven't formally asked you yet. Are you planning on watching Yu-Gi-Oh 7?
Yes, absolutely.
Absolutely. What do
Okay.
you mean?
You've caused me to watch 3 other shows
Oh,
simultaneously.
hold on, wait a
You
minute.
think
That's-
I'm giving up?
I know. Yeah, no, I know.
It's him. I'm blaming Dylan wholeheartedly.
Sorry.
Also, Hocus, you got called out. Nick T Hocus called you out
For what?
and said that it seems like you've never had a female as just a friend.
Oh,
untrue.
Oh my
That's
God,
very
Hocus straight up
untrue.
called you out.
dude. No, Hocus is right. Let's
No.
talk about Nick T
Hold
for a
on.
sec.
Wait, no.
Yeah.
You guys, no.
I mean, I've never had a female as a friend, but that's not even romantic implications. I've never talked to a girl in my life.
Never.
Never in my life.
Honestly, yeah. I've never even seen one.
I have
No.
a lot of female friends, actually. That's true. I don't. Ella, you haven't met Ella.
Now, I will bring back right here the gif, the meme of Cole from LA Noire.
Doubt.
Well,
Right
that's
there when you
that's
said that.
whenever someone says I have a lot of insert whatever here, they're usually just
What are you implying?
I'm implying that you don't have that many women
I have quite a few.
girlfriends. Well, you have Jordan,
Jordan's my girlfriend.
right? So she's a friend.
No, I'm romantically involved with Jordan.
But are you romantically
What?
involved with
No
any
way.
other woman?
No.
Oh, I didn't mean to say it like that. Are you?
Whoa.
We're just straight up
See,
calling
he's
out.
trying to implicate me on something that doesn't exist.
How has Jordan been, by the way? I'm asking Pete. I'm not asking you.
Why are you asking Pete?
I wouldn't know. Apparently, maybe good. I know she's alive. She texted me the other day.
For those of you that don't know, Jordan is unable to work with us. But
Next
she
week.
she did really
she
well.
got promoted to the office, so she's not here.
She's
at
in
the ground
corporate.
level.
Yeah, she got promoted to corporate. But yeah, no, Jordan helped us really well get our feet on the ground. She was a great hostess.
Now she's our district leader.
Yeah,
So-
she's our district leader now, our
She
district
writes. She
supervisor.
signs the checks.
Yes, she does. So she we wish her the best. She was great though while we had her on. But yeah,
lovely person.
She'll be back on next week.
so thank you, Hocus. Well, what did we? Oh no, Hocus didn't. She just.
No,
she just called me out.
Coming into Nick.
Yeah, so thank you, Hocus.
Thank
yeah.
you very much, Hocus. Also, RedEye said, why did Ryoken not give his dad a funeral or a burial? He just went off on a boat at the end of season 1. Did he just dump him in the water?
Well, he could have spread
Oh,
his ashes at
yeah,
sea.
I think kind of
that could have
like,
been kind of
It was
some.
probably more of a personal thing
That's
that
the
they didn't have
dust.
time to show on the
Yeah.
show.
Yeah.
But I'm imagining that even though he had a complicated relationship with his father, he gave him some kind of send-off.
Kogami is the dust that is Stardust Rose.
I knew exactly what you were going to say when he said, "That's the dust." Oh, jeez.
Yeah, I mean, it's
yeah,
possible.
cremate him. Just spread his ashes all over Stardust Road there.
Do we have any more, or is that
We
it?
have
Oh.
quite a few more. So, Dylan, if you could stay awake.
I'm staying awake. I don't get much sleep these days.
This
so
poor
I'm-
man has work in the morning.
I'm-
but
I'm not-
We,
I'm
we
not-
appreciate you greatly. Everyone that's watching, donating.
Yes.
You're all
No,
equally-
thank you so much. And I'm not tired because I'm not yawning because I'm bored. I would
He's
stream for
he works a lot.
15 hours straight. I work like
He,
7.
he's making sacrifices right now for you guys. So
I love you
Whoa.
guys.
Yeah.
But I also love doing it. So
Yeah.
I would
No, we have fun. It's just
yeah.
So I believe this is pronounced Harrow. It's Harro.
Yeah, Haro,
yeah.
yeah.
I say that because he donated $100.
Holy fuck.
And so he
Wow.
said, "While I'm off to help a friend with his work, since he's injured, take care, guys, and someone
Aw.
remind me of that Discord of yours later."
Wow, that's so nice. 100
yes.
Australian, but
That was just
Yes,
his
it was-
username,
it was-
Haro?
Yeah, it was 100 Australian, but still, it's $100.
No,
It's
still.
$100.
I mean, that's
So-
that's a huge donation. Haro, thank you so much,
That's
dude.
so kind.
Jesus Christ. That's incredible, man.
Yes.
Thank you so much. I don't even know what to say.
yeah, best of luck helping your injured
Best of luck
friend.
helping your injured friend. Yeah, first and foremost. Hopefully
Yeah,
he
So hopefully
feels
everything goes
better.
well. Thank you very much for stopping by. That
Yeah.
was incredibly generous.
And please DM me on Twitter for the link.
Yeah.
Donation like that, even if you have a video for me to do. I mean, it's basically Egyptian God at that point. So whenever
Right,
someone
yeah.
donates I say, if you have a video idea.
Suggest it, yeah.
Yeah, and it also, keeps, your creative ideas flowing.
Yeah,
So it
absolutely.
always helps.
Absolutely.
Always
Thank
needs
you
some help.
so much, dude. A lot of donations,
A
a lot
lot
of
of
big
great-
ones, two
great people
massive
tonight.
ones. Jesus, thank you guys so much.
Matt Inferni King donated another $5.
Thank you, Matt.
And said revolvers, Link 5 monsters, Borload, Berserker Dragon, and Topologic Breaker Dragon. They are in your DMs on Discord.
Okay, I will look at those monsters and
Hell yeah.
maybe Matt has correctly predicted a few monsters before.
It's kind of scary. Like,
That's
Matt, do you
weird.
literally
I
work
love that.
over there?
He
Yeah,
might.
He's got the inside.
He
There's
might know.
something-
He might know.
have
He
a
might know
couple
Yoshida.
sources. Oh, man.
Thank you, Matt.
Thank you very much. Goose donated another $10.
Goose.
And said this episode explained how corruption can take place. Lightning got corrupted by fear/hate. Roboppy was corrupted by knowledge and a lack of compassion. The
Wow.
Revolver versus Soul Burner duel will be like a Joey versus Kaiba.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
It's, and I just want to touch on Goose's point, real world implications. It's very easy for people to get brainwashed.
And I think what he
It's
said,
very
excellent.
easy for people who were once good to get brainwashed and become very hateful. I think it's how terrorist groups recruit
Sure.
very easily, and they recruit vulnerable people a lot of the
Right.
times. I mean, you watch some documentaries on whatever group, whether it be ISIS, white supremacy groups. I mean, the way that they recruit and target is absolutely horrifying.
Yeah.
And they play on that. They play on fear. They play on, usually it's not knowledge. I think fear is a huge reason for it.
Fear and just straight up lies sometimes.
Oh
That's
yeah,
what
propaganda.
What
Yeah,
happens.
yeah, and we've seen, and that again, Vrains I think has been one of the most real Yu-Gi-Oh shows. I think that's why some people maybe dislike it.
Yeah, it might be too
because
much.
it's a little too much. But for me, I absolutely love it.
I agree.
And I love Yu-Gi-Oh for being insane, like Zexal with space aliens and stuff, and Arc 5 with traveling dimensions. Those things are fun, but you're not gonna get a level of realism with them.
Right.
With Vrains, like there's a lot of real life things you can pull. So Goose, I think that was a very, very nice comment.
Yeah, and all
Yes.
these different characters of lightning, his fear and hate of, I will not be different than the other Ignis. I am not
Right.
inferior.
Right.
And so having his own kind of morality, but also insecurities,
Yeah,
kind of focused on
insecurities.
everything he
Yeah.
did,
Yep.
which then caused him to corrupt Windy and not really having a choice there that we found out, which, still not a great fan of, but whatever. And then Roboppy of, that wasn't really, in my opinion, I's intention. It just kind of was a consequence
Right.
of him being backed up.
Right.
And
Yeah.
how that went, that I didn't see that coming either. So
Right. And if you add, like, from a almost philosophical standpoint, the corruption of too much knowledge almost seems like what I gave Roboppy was knowledge that couldn't. It's like us being revealed the actual purpose of life or something. Some sort of thought that we could never comprehend is obviously going to drive us to some sort of insanity.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Especially as
that's-
Kusanagi said, not being mature to handle your kind of intelligence, having too much power too quickly. It's like something in DC, like most people said, like you get the anti-life equation was always a thing that Darkseid was after. Most people couldn't handle that information because they would literally overload and die.
Right.
So like there's
exactly.
these
It's
things
same
that
thing.
clearly Roboppy's programming wasn't meant to handle.
Yeah.
Exactly.
A high level Ignis programming.
Yeah, so it's both like a literal and like philosophical meaning there.
Yeah.
Corruption.
Yeah, great
Crazy.
comment, dude.
Yes.
Great comment.
Insightful.
Someone also asked Dylan. I remember someone mentioning if Dylan could start a Discord server, could that still happen?
So I do have a Discord server. It's not public. It's a reward for being a channel member, which is $2.99 a month. I have 3 tiers, but you get actually I'm incorrect. You get Discord access, I believe, at $4.99 a month because it's also for silver tier patrons, which is $5 a month. So I keep it consistent. It's a reward basically for Discord. The main reason I made it it's a reward, for Patreon and members. The main reason I did that and I did not do it public is because I've tried public servers 2 different occasions back in like 2016, 2017.
Didn't work out.
Horrible.
Yeah.
The amount of trolls, the amount of
I
just
think you made a good decision.
arguments and cancerous people. At least with this, it's sure you might have some troll pay to just get in,
Right.
but like it's much more under control. And it's way
I
there's
think it's just passionate people wanting to talk about this.
there was one point where like it was literally like a troll farm that like I'm not even kidding, like 15 accounts joined in like a 3-minute span, which is a lot.
All right.
And all of them just started talking about like all these like racial and political things. Like it was terrifying. And like me and the person who Aki was a friend of mine, we handled it and we like banned them immediately. But like it was terrifying how
Right.
easily they can be like infiltrated.
Yeah.
So I was like, never again, never am I doing a public server.
So it's not
again.
that it's held behind a paywall, but it's that to ensure that the Discord experience is as good as it could be.
Exactly. And because I'm not on Discord a lot because I'm horrible at answering messages, I don't check things often.
We
I'm just
can
not
attest to
good
that.
with
He
it.
isn't even in real life as well.
Yeah, so I apologize. So there's times where I don't check my own Discord for like 12, 13 hours.
Or text
So the
messages.
last thing I need is for someone to like go in and then just be like horrific for like 10 hours before I can spot them.
Right.
So that's a big reason why I do it. So I do apologize for that.
But yes, that is your answer to your question there. But hey, if We're not saying to, but if you want to join the Discord, you want to donate.
It's a reward. Hopefully,
join
it's a
Yeah.
somewhat enticing
Membership or
reward.
Patreon.
And I am not. I know there are some people that say when you stop becoming a patron or a member, you get kicked out.
That's not-
That is not for me. Once you have access, you will always have access.
Right.
So if you're a patron for just 1 month and then you cancel, or a member for just 1 month and then you cancel immediately, you will always have access to the Discord.
The only way
I'm
you-
not greedy like that.
Yeah.
You don't need to stay a member or anything.
Right.
Only
Yeah.
way you're getting kicked out is if you do something that you shouldn't be doing.
Yes, right. It's not a free for all, but I'd like to think people have good judgment.
Yeah, have some a little bit of control, some
Yeah.
willpower. DivZ donated $5
Thank you, Div.
and said, "Seems like Roboppy awakened the Sharagan. Sharagan? Am I saying that?
Sharingan.
Sharagan. Also, is
Naruto.
that battle phase?
Shirigami, it's not?
Sharingan.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Also, is that battle phase of the XYZ, the XC summon, a callback to the XL synchro?
Axel Synchro, yeah,
Axel
which you'll
Synchro?
know in 5Ds a little later on.
All right.
Yeah, a lot of people said that it would be amazing if he what's it called? Ranked up, which is an XZ summoning that was in Arc 5. It was first shown in Zexal, obviously, when XZs was a thing. But if Soulburner rank upped instead of reincarnated, that would have been really, really crazy. But have yet to see a rank up XZ summon in Vrains. Who knows if we will.
I like when there's callbacks, though.
Oh, yeah.
So the
Oh,
show
it's
is
great. I
always
love
nice.
it.
John Roy donated another $5
Thank you, John.
and said, "When a new show comes, what's the new summoning method? What would it be like? I hope it's like a red card and Revolver is going to win with a new Link 5 monster, I hope."
Link 5 would be amazing. New summoning method, I will be talking about that on an entire video on my Road to Yu-Gi-Oh! 7 series. My preference, just to give you guys who are still here a little taste of it, no new summoning method. Maybe a new... I saw someone talk about how maybe deck masters, like what they did in season 3 of Duel Monsters, would be really cool. Maybe some new thing, maybe a new form of a spell or a trap, but we don't need a new summoning method.
No, I think it's already pretty saturated with that. And
Yeah.
it
I
should
mean, we
only
didn't
adds-
even have pendulums in this show.
Exactly. It really only serves to add another level of confusion to an already pretty complex card game at this point.
Yes.
So that it would be a lot.
It
I
would
kind
be
of
a
like
lot.
where it's at right now.
Yeah.
If you wanted it in the new show, throw back in pendulums, I'm cool with that.
I agree.
DivZ donated another $5.
Thank you so much,
And
Div.
he said Pete Darkside got the anti-life equation on the 3rd season of Young Justice. Spoilers.
Someone keeps up.
When is the new table coming along? Gotta go to sleep, guys.
DivZ.
You guys need some sleep.
Yes,
We do need some
Good
sleep.
night,
Love you,
my
man.
friend.
Thank you for the
One,
donations.
new table. We're on the journey. We're trying to figure
It's
out.
just it's actually way harder to find one than we thought it would be.
We spent
Yeah.
like a solid 2 hours at IKEA.
looked online.
Nothing. Looked online. Nothing. We may have to build this thing.
I think that's
But you know,
honestly
it
where
might
we're gonna
be
have to
fun.
go.
You know, we'll get.
Or-
We could do a vlog experience of building
Or
a
again,
table.
the clip mics. That's what I'm also maybe
yeah,
leaning
that's
towards.
one, but I
right,
still
but
think
still,
the
we still
table
need a
is a good
table.
idea.
Clip mics or not, but like, if we get clip mics, where are we sitting? Still the same table?
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
Eventually, progression, we'll figure it out.
Yeah, it stresses me out
That
because
could be
I
a
want to
2020
upgrade.
thing, too.
Yeah, that's the aim right now. Maybe before the Jump Festa stream. DivZ, have a good night, dude.
Best get.
Hey, if
to sleep.
anyone wants to DM Dylan about
If anyone knows how to-
suggestions on how to build that type of table,
I
Yeah.
think it wouldn't be hard to
that
build.
would help too.
Well, we'd have to cut down wood from the back, you think?
Yeah, the
You-
back of the house,
Or
would
go
come
to
off apart.
Home Depot.
Would you spend a whole day building it with me?
Yeah.
I would absolutely. I think
Absolutely.
it'd be a fun vlog.
I think it
too.
would be.
Sand.
We could live stream building it. Yeah.
Yep.
That'd be
That'd be
fun
great.
actually.
And right now, at the moment, the last donation is Davis Enos,
Davis.
who donated $5
Davis.
and
Thank you,
said
dude.
Roboppy's death was just like doing a software update on a smartphone or a computer that's outdated. Sure, it might work, but it will suffer in the end.
Yep.
Love the
Planned obsolescence.
Again, more real-world implications.
Yeah,
Like
love the
when,
comparison, dude.
When I finally upgraded to like iOS, whatever it was, like 11 on my iPhone 4, and it was like the Wi-Fi stopped working, it wouldn't connect to Bluetooth. I was like, oh, this thing's dying.
Yeah. Great comparison, dude.
Yeah.
Oh,
Um,
hold on. One more.
It was iOS 8, I guess.
Thank you, Davis. Thank you.
We just got a donation that came through.
Okay.
It is from Goose, who donated $5.
Goose.
up.
Thank
And
you,
said,
dude.
I hope they expand on the previous summoning method. That being said, you all see the new Addams Family trailer. They all moved to New Jersey. No, I have not seen
Oh,
that.
God.
I didn't see
dude.
I saw the one trailer in theaters. I didn't know.
I
in
didn't
that
even know
trailer
there was
there's
any Addams
Jersey.
Family thing at all.
It looks fun, actually. I would really like to see it. I haven't seen the newest one, so I didn't know about the Jersey thing. But I love the
That's
thought that they would move to Jersey.
Certainly something.
That's amazing.
Matt-
I never watched Adam's Family.
No, not kind of was just not my thing. Past my time.
Yeah.
Never really.
Yeah.
I know briefly. The song basically.
Right.
Enjoyed some of it. Morticia's my wife.
Waifu.
Yeah, she's my wife.
What's the waifu?
I want to be Gomez with the sweet mustache.
Can you have a waifu even though it's like real life people?
Right, yeah, it works.
Yeah. I feel like it's
I
more
thought
of
the
an
Addams
anime thing.
Family was the like the animated stuff.
There was, I think, an animated, but
But
it
I'm
was-
also sure.
Oh, I'm
it's
thinking of
actors, too.
Castlevania.
Oh my God! Now you know it's late. Jesus.
Castlevania. Selena Gomez is in that, right?
I have no
Castlevania is a
idea.
video game. What?
But
Ca-
Castlevania also became
No,
talking about
a
Wizard
show.
of Waverly Place?
No, I'm not talking about Wizards of Waverly Place. Castlevania is the haunted show. It's the haunted movie with the vampire dad. It's like kind of cartoony, but it's supposed to be creepy at the same
You're thinking
time.
of Hotel
Transylvania.
I guess that's what did I say?
Castlevania. That's a
Castlevania.
video game about Dracula.
And then I think it also became a show as well.
There
that
was
I think
also
was
an
on,
And
like,
Selena
Netflix.
Gomez was in that. We can confirm that.
not Castlevania.
What was the
Hotel
what was the
Transylvania, yes.
one? Do you remember the one creepy movie that they said was like it was like they like warned us about seeing? It was Caroline.
Coraline is no.
But you remember people like being freaked
Yeah,
out about
I
that
saw it
movie.
recently. It's really good, actually.
Yeah.
Meg
Shout out
just
Coraline.
wrote that it is Transylvania.
Thank you.
Hotel
Thank you,
Transylvania.
Meg.
It's not whatever you're saying.
Thank you.
said.
Hotel Transylvania, the first one.
Hotel Transylvania. We figured it
We're
out.
on number 3, where they're on a cruise now, and I'm over it.
And so your waifu is not the mom in that show.
My wife is the mom in the Addams Family.
Okay, see, because when you said that, I pictured the mom in that show.
There is no mom.
There is a mom.
No.
The skinny woman.
No.
There's
Look
a
up
skinny woman, right? You've seen the show or the movie.
You
I
don't even-
have,
You don't
yes.
even know the name of it.
Maybe
How
it's
do
the
you-
daughter. Maybe it's the daughter.
probably the daughter.
Okay, so it's the daughter.
Wandering Soul goes, Dylan needs some sleep.
It's 3 a.m. I don't know where I am
If
anymore.
it's not anime, he doesn't know what it is.
That's okay. That's
I'm sorry.
and
that
then
was
Stardust Sam wrote Castlevania is in Smash, Simon and Richter.
okay.
Simon
Yeah,
Richter,
yeah. Okay, right. That's Castlevania. That's what I said.
That's what you said.
I meant Hotel Transylvania.
Everyone is just telling you just quit it.
All right. I'm sorry.
Matt and Furry King donated $2 and said, "Make your new summoning method a live stream."
Oh, like that video. Maybe I'll live stream all my Road to Yu-Gi-Oh 7 recordings.
That would be fun.
I did it
That'd
for
be
the first
sick.
one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would like that a lot.
Oh,
He also came back and donated another $5.
Thank you so much,
And
dude.
said, Dylan, do you think they are going to do the Excel Synchro or
Excel Synchro? I don't.
Or summon up or rank up.
Rank up summon. I don't. I hate to be the bearer of bad news. I don't think they're going to do pendulums. I've thought that for a while, honestly.
You have thought that.
and I don't think that they will do rank up magics.
That's just so complicated with the field. When you explain that to me, how pendulums work.
Well, you can see this board, this mat. The pendulum zones are now in the spell and trap zone.
Yeah.
And if you have a scale 1 and like a scale 8, then from your hand you can summon as many level 2 to 7 monsters as you want.
Right,
So you
makes
can
sense.
spam the board. But before Vrains was a thing, the pendulum zones were on the side of the monster zones. So you still had access to all 5 spell and trap zones, even if you had pendulum cards. Because now when you use them, you can only do 3 spell and traps.
Right.
And that was, I guess, really the only big difference.
So Link
It-
changed
it-
the way
it changed-
his pendulum
It
works.
definitely hurt pendulums. It didn't kill them. I mean, some pendulum decks are still viable, like pendulum magicians, but it definitely hurt them. It didn't benefit pendulums. Pendulums was probably the summoning method that
Affected
I think was affected the most, the extra deck method.
There's no donations, but people are just talking about how you're delirious and need sleep.
He does.
Meg wrote back again and said, Martha is the wife of Dracula. She's the tall, skinny one. Jesus, roasting one of my favorite movies.
I'm not roasting it.
Transylvania?
So
Oh, I'm not. I
that-
didn't
No,
say
I
anything
said the
negative
first one
about
was
it.
good.
Also,
I didn't-
Jesse Yip came in and said Selena Gomez did voice Marvis or Mavis from Hotel Transylvania.
The dog, right?
So,
The dog.
Wasn't it?
I don't know, but at least you were getting that the actress did voice something.
Okay,
in
hold
it.
on. Okay,
Yeah.
but so you have to admit to me that you were wrong, clearly, because that's the woman I thought of, the mom.
Let's pull her up. Can you Google Martha? If she looks nothing like Morticia,
Martha from
I'm
Transylvania,
not
that's what you
apologizing.
want.
So
You don't have to apologize, but you said there's no mom in Hotel Transylvania.
I didn't know that.
So you can say, I didn't know, I was wrong, I made a stupid assumption.
You called it Castlevania.
I mean, I admit I was wrong. Pull up the mom.
She looks close enough. All right, I admit I was wrong.
This is what we're looking
All
like.
right,
I think it was based off of the Addams family, wasn't it?
It probably was. I admit I was wrong.
Right. So when you said what, that's who I thought. You can look
All
him
right,
up.
fine,
You know,
fine.
and- by the
All
way, Meg, I'm not bashing that movie. I think.
Oh no, the first one's good.
Yeah. Well, I never saw him, but like I respect the art. I think it's cool art.
Yeah.
Selena Gomez was in it. It must have been a masterpiece.
Apparently, Selena voices the daughter, and Martha is dead. Something like that. Apparently, it was said. So.
Spoilers.
Yeah.
Martha's dead.
I mean, come on. I was going to watch the movie tonight.
Wow, dude.
Stay up till
Oh,
5.
thanks, Goose, pointing out how well dressed I am. Thank you very much.
Oh, thank you,
Matching the
Goose.
red
Oh, he said you.
computer, and then said Selena Gomez voices the main girl, by the way.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Not the dog.
And then everyone is in agreement that Dylan go to bed.
All right. Yeah, you know what? We're going to wrap things up. Thank you all so much
Donate real quick. No, just kidding.
for watching episode 28 of Talking Yu-Gi-Oh!
Even Matt said no one donated. They feel bad for you at this point.
It's late.
No, I love the. Obviously,
We appreciate you guys very
Yeah,
much. but
of
this
course.
Man needs to go to sleep.
Look, listen, guys. I absolutely love all of you. You really make this dream a reality. Join this giveaway. It's in the description. Join this giveaway. It's in the description. Do we get it?
David Lewis wrote, "Hear me out. Jordan is the noise spy."
Wow.
She might be because
She might
she
be. That's why she hasn't
disappeared.
been here.
Yeah.
We found her out.
Listen, thank you guys so much. All the donations, all the Patreon membership support, and all just watching me, even if you don't partake in all of that, watching me, liking my stuff, subscribing, it means the absolute world to me. Thank you guys so much. Episode 28 already of Talking Yu-Gi-Oh! Into the Vrains. Not sure how many episodes we have left of this particular Talking Yu-Gi-Oh! Podcast, but when Yu-Gi-Oh! 7 gets announced, we'll be doing a Talking Yu-Gi-Oh! Yu-Gi-Oh! 7 one as well. Nick T. Pete, thank you guys so much for being part of the team.
Thank you for
Of
having me,
course.
dude.
Thank you for
It's
having
always
us.
fun.
No problem. Thank you all so much. Thank you all for the laughs, for the tears, and I hope you all have an amazing day. Thank
And
you
night.
guys.
Good night.
Love you
Have a
guys.
great night, guys.
Thank you guys.